and the Wolfpack playing like some wolves, no question. Can they beat the Orange for their 6th conference win? That game less than 2 hours away, following us right here on the network. You've got questions. We've got answers. 2 hours long, 2 hours strong. The huddle starts now. NC State at Syracuse, an NC State team that continues to do work quietly and may have a chance to be in position today to get their 6th conference win of the season. Coach, that's got to excite you a little bit.
Yeah, it's big. It's huge to think you could have that big of a turnaround. It's sad that a year ago they only won one, obviously, but people believe in Coach Duran and what he's doing, and this year in particular, they've done such a great job, juggling their quarterback situation. Thankfully, having 2 guys that could get the job done with Leary and Hockman. So it's been a big year for them, and hopefully they'll finish strong.
Yeah, it's been a huge year for them. I think, like you just said, Coach, the quarterback play has obviously improved. It's become a lot more consistent. When they had Devin Leary, he was playing great until he had the injury to his lower leg. And then obviously Bailey Hockman's done a great job coming in, playing with confidence. I think that's the biggest thing for Bailey. So as long as he continues to play with confidence versus a Syracuse team that's been really struggling the past, 5-6 weeks of the season, trying to find some type of positive light. So I really think this is a game that's going to be NC State's favorite today.
So the question now becomes, who is more excited for this NC State team to see him on the field? EJ or his dog Titan barking in the background? Because Titan is hyped as well.
That wasn't Titan.
Oh, I thought that was Titan.
That wasn't Titan, Jordan. That's not EJ.
That's somebody's dog out there.
Somebody's hungry.
Now I owe an apology to Titan. I'm putting Titan on blast. Titan ain't even doing anything.
Titan's over here asleep, just minding his business, bro. What are you talking about, man?
Apologies to Titan. No apologies to NC State. We're celebrating that team. We're going to talk more about them as they kick off at noon.
I love it.
How about NC State Syracuse? If Syracuse could operate at the level we just saw Eric and EJ, that Syracuse team would be a lot better. Dave Doran from NC State earlier this week on finding success this season.
You hate to go through what we did a year ago, but we used it as an opportunity, one, to build depth on our roster, playing all those freshmen. Obviously, we paid the price for it during the first year of it, but all those guys are now playing better in year 2. It also, allowed me to kind of sit back and see some of the things in our program that just weren't the way they needed to be. The ugliness of what happened exposed some things in myself, in our roster, in all the things that we do. And had we won some of the games we lost, maybe that you just keep moving, but we had to change, and we did, and our players had to change, our staff had to change, and those aren't easy things to do, but I give credit to the new coaches that are here. I give credit to the players for really going through, walking the hot coals and coming back and being humble, and all of us together, kind of coming together and connecting in a certain way that we could build on and use last year's failures to create this year's success. And it's definitely helped us grow closer as a football team and as a family.
Well, the Pack seeking their 6th conference win this season, which would match its program record for most ACC wins in a season. They've done 6 previous times, most recently in 2017. With wins over Syracuse today and Georgia Tech in its final game, the Pack would set a new program mark for most single-season conference wins. For more on this one, he's on the call with Wes Durham, NC State, and Q's, and of course Eric Wood as well, noon on our air here, following the show. We've got Roddy Jones in the building. And Roddy, it's been a while since I've seen you. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. And let's talk about a Pack team that has been feasting, playing great football on both sides of the field. Why is it clicking for NC State like it is?
Well, Jordan, it's good to be back with you. Thanksgiving was fantastic. I hope it was great for you, too. And really, the thing that's come together for NC State this season, Dave Doran just talked about it, it's their chemistry. I think more than anything, Dave Doran talked to us this week about the fact that in the offseason, they really started to institute some stuff before quarantine hit that he felt brought them closer together, that really prepared them to have success through this quarantine period and really bring them together as a team. And it's been fun to watch. This was a team that suffered last season. He mentioned that in the clip that we just saw. He mentioned that to us this week. And because of that suffering, once the quarantine hit and they had to go home, when coaches couldn't check on workouts, when coaches couldn't see what these guys were doing on a day-in, day-out basis, they really banded together as a team. And the leaders of that team took over and we're able to hold people accountable. So that's what's led to the success that you've seen on the field this year.
Hey, Roddy, I misspoke. Eric Wood is not on the call with you guys. He's actually doing Louisville-Boston College. Maybe it was just simply too much west for the guy. I can't blame Eric if that was the case there. So good luck to you. Who are we going to see a quarterback for Syracuse today?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. I don't know who's going to take the first snaps, but the indications are that we could see all three guys, Rex Culpepper, Jacobian Morgan, and Dylan Markowitz, in this game. Again, we don't know who's going to take the first snaps. Morgan was kind of questionable throughout the week, not sure how much practice he got. If he is not able to go initially because he either missed practice or is still injured, then it would be Rex Culpepper. But I think it's very likely that we will see multiple quarterbacks today for Syracuse, which hopefully gives them a spark for an offense that really struggled a week ago against Louisville.
Well, the offense has lacked a spark and a pulse, but the defense has had its bright spots. Is that an underrated defense, one that can maybe wreak havoc today?
Yeah, I think it is an underrated defense, especially when you look at their overall numbers. Total defense last in the league, rushing defense last in the league. But if you break it down on a per-play basis, this is a top half of the league defense in yards per attempt in the pass game. It is better than they are totally. It is better in yards per rush defended against, and they create a ton of turnovers. So this has been a defense that's better than they've been given credit for. And in Tony White's first season, I don't think you can understate with the injuries that they've had and the opt-outs. Andre Sisco is no longer playing for him. Trill Williams opted out. And they've still been able to perform at a high level. So Tony White has done a fantastic job in his first season as a defensive coordinator here at Syracuse.
Roddy Jones, great work as always. Thanks for the insight. And I'm going to speak for Chris Cotter here, who continually on his broadcasts asked Wes Durham to have him on Packer and Durham. Can you make that thing happen? Can you talk to your play-by-play guy there and see if we can do that?
I'm still working on Wes to get Cotter on Packer and Durham. We're trying to get it. Here he comes now. We're just trying to operate at the same level of Vic DiMaccaggi, Chris Rumpf, and Eric Mackley and E.J. Manuel. I mean, that was seamless just a second ago. That was fantastic.
Real recognizes real. Roddy Jones, Wes Durham, aptly masked, social distancing. I love it, you guys. Have a great broadcast. We will be watching at the conclusion of the huddle here.
Thanks, man. See you guys.
Excited to watch this Wolfpack team play as they get set to take on Syracuse. 9 minutes away from kick. Dave Doran, 4-0 versus opponents not ranked. Potential coach of the year in the ACC? Welcome back into the huddle. Creeping on the come up to kickoff between the Pack and Q's. Eric, a look at Bailey Hockman.
Yeah, come on, Big Bailey. The guy who has been ready for his moment, guys, really playing well, leading his team to victory, just finding a way to win. It's looked different every single time, but it's exciting to see him just, again, keep getting better. Coach Doran said this is his moment, and he's ready for it.
A couple years ago, Coach Duran told me, he said, hey, if this Peyton Wilson kid stays healthy, everybody in the nation is going to know who he is. He had a couple ACLs he had to recover from, and he's recovered extremely well. He's leading the team in tackles. He's one of the best players in America at his position. He's got the length, the speed, the toughness, and if you watch him play, he definitely has an attitude. So you'll see him on draft day in a couple years.
Guys, and talk about one of the best DBs in the country. We know Syracuse has a bunch of ball hawks. Mikel Jones, three interceptions on the season, which is tied for most in the ACC and the most among ACC linebackers. So I think this guy is definitely going to be impacted trying to get after this NC State offense.
Wow, making my debut with players on the field. Garrett Williams, second in tackles and picks with 34 tackles and 2 interceptions. It's going to be a great one. We're 6 minutes away from kickoff. A little bit more huddle to get to. Picks on the other side. Right here on our air, it's the Pack and it's Clemson. Or it's Clemson. It's the Pack and it's Syracuse. Talk to me, EJ, on this one. What do you have?
Still thinking about Clemson, but I'm going with the Wolfpack in this one. Syracuse is still trying to find a way to get some big plays. I think their defense will show up, but not quite enough to be the NC State football team that just beat Liberty, so I'm going with the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I'm with you. NC State has been hot. They got a chance to win their 6th conference game, and I know they're fired up to do it. I'll say NC State.
Go Pack. I'm going with the Wolfpack. They've been the surprise team of the ACC. I think Bailey Hockman's going to step up big for them today.
It should be interesting to see. Pack do not have Clemson. They have Syracuse. Will that be a favorable matchup for them? We shall see. It's Wes Durham. It's Roddy Jones. It's the Carrier Dome. The Wolfpack. The Orange. We'll see you at halftime.
Well, it's the final Saturday in November, and that is Senior Day here in Central New York. Syracuse arrives, and they meet an NC State team playing for win number 7. It's an ACC Saturday, and it kicks off next. Well, nice to see a group supporting Dino Babers seniors who take the field here at the Dome for the final time in the regular season. It's not been the fall the Orange had hoped for, but the emotion of a senior day, no matter how different, never goes away. And NC State is here, the Wolfpack, winners of 2 in a row as we start our triple header of ACC football. Great to be with Roddy Jones, Wes Durham. We welcome you to our coverage. This is going to be an interesting game because not only are we working our way to the close of 2020, we're kind of looking ahead to 2021, and we're going to see some stars of today that are really going to be stars tomorrow.
You're absolutely right, Wes, and it's on both sides of the field in this game. Well, let's start with NC State. When you talk about a guy that's going to get some buzz in the offseason when it comes to talk about draft-eligible juniors, Ike Ekwonu is going to be on some of those lists because of his athleticism, and as a 320-pound tackle, he is a punishing finisher. Look, he does a Wes Durham-style burpee right there, then gets down the field, and this is big fish eats little fish. DBs want no part of him, finishes Bubba Bolden. And then here, he helps on the outside, gets upfield on a DB again, pushes Devontae Cross all the way out, and it's in the end zone. But the finishing ability of Ike Ekwonu is what I really like. He hits it up in there, and when you're on the ground, no, play's not over. You're going back down. Ike Ekwonu is one of the most exciting offensive linemen in the country, especially as a sophomore, because of his size and athleticism.
That's not a misprint. 77 pancake blocks in now his 22nd career game starting today here under the Dome. When you talk about Syracuse, yeah, the win-loss, probably not what Dino Babers had envisioned here, Roddy. But you look at the back end defensively, stars in the making.
Absolutely. And this Syracuse defense, when you look at their total numbers, not all that impressive, but you have to dig a little bit deeper because they have been incredible at creating turnovers. Ife Melifonwu is one of the best corners in the entire conference, should be getting a lot of all-ACC buzz. But the guy on the other side, redshirt freshman Garrett Williams, has been incredible. You see the athletic interception. And Mikel Jones has been a turnover machine. He has created takeaways over and over, tied for the league lead in interceptions this season. When you talk about this Syracuse defense, again, this is a group that overall, when you look at their total numbers, not especially great, but Tony White has done a really nice job in his first season, a pandemic season, without a full offseason, getting his guys ready to play.
Well, and Tony White, as you mentioned, you look at the 20 takeaways, the last 2 games, though, Roddy, 5 rookies in his starting lineup, 5 real rookies.
And 5 rookies that have played more plays than anyone in the country. Those 80.3 plays per game means that they are on the field a ton, and they have performed well for Tony White.
Well, so Tony White in the orange. Under the tutelage of head coach Dino Babers, they get ready. Trenton Gill will kick it away for the Wolfpack. The NC State punter, Nykeem Johnson, is the principal return man for the Orange, and it will go over his head and out of bounds. Well, one of the stories developing during the week after last Friday night's loss at Louisville was the status of freshman quarterback Jacobian Morgan. Well, the 6'4", 203-pound freshman did not dress today, so that leaves Rex Culpepper, fifth-year senior from Plant High School in the Tampa, Florida area, to start for a 4th time. So here is Culpepper, who was 19 of 40 for 211 and 3 scores, and a loss earlier this season to Liberty.
Question for Culpepper here today is going to be, during that time off where he missed the game, played a little bit last week, can he improve on the accuracy issues that he's had earlier?
The freshman Sean Tucker's the running back, quick throw on the perimeter, and this is Taj Harris, the 38th catch of the year for Harris. And the Orange work quickly to a first down on a pickup of 12. That was Shy Battle who shoved him out of bounds. Culpepper trying to zip it to the near side, looking for Johnson. And on the chase was Tyler Baker Williams, the nickelback, who defensive coordinator Tony Gibson of NC State could not have been more complimentary of during the week in our visit.
He certainly could not have. He mentioned Tyler Baker-Williams and Jakeem Harris, number 6, as guys that have really started to play better as of late. And Baker-Williams missed a ton of time due to contact tracing, is starting to round into form.
Yep. So here's Culpepper's second in the full 10. Joseph on the pressure. Ball got deflected off the hands of Harris and incomplete. You saw big 99 peeling in there for the Wolfpack, who had maybe one of his best games of the year last Saturday night in the win against Liberty.
It was the ACC Defensive Lineman of the Week. Got a ton of publicity for what he did. This NC State defensive line has really started to play well the last few weeks. Daniel Joseph is a big part of that.
Yep. Third down for Syracuse. They're 15th in the ACC at 23%. This is Harris on the crossing route, and he will fight forward for what will be the first down. So a third down pickup. Jakeem Harris was in the secondary. He helped make the tackle on Taj Harris, who's now got a couple of key grabs.
Well, NC State went man-to-man, and Taj Harris did a nice job of getting Cecil Powell stacked. He was behind him, was able to catch it, and then the individual effort to get the first down. And Wes, what you've seen early here with Rex Culpepper is he's been decisive. He's known where to go with the football.
First and 10, quick pass, and this is Anthony Quealy. And Peyton Wilson the stop for the Wolfpack after a pickup to the 45. So Wilson, the leading tackler on the NC State squad, and whistle stops play. Cecil Powell's gone down. He and Wilson were there on the stop of Quealy. And we'll get a timeout. We'll take it with them here at the Dome. Early stages, 61 seconds gone, and Syracuse a plus field snap. Powell, the sophomore, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, right to the locker room after coming off the field with the injury here.
Didn't look like got rolled up or anything, but nonetheless, straight to the locker room, and Aiden White in to replace him.
Wildcat formation. Nakeem Johnson trying to get started. Drake Thomas on the chase. And finally, Baker Williams creates the vice that shoves him out of bounds on the tackle angle. So Sterling Gilbert went a little trick, and Wolfpack matched it, Roddy.
Yeah, for their first run play of the game, they go Wildcat and try and go sideline to sideline. The negative gain puts him in 3rd and long. That's a situation that they have really struggled in as of late. But with Rex Culpepper in, they're going empty. It's going to be about him making the right decision and delivering an accurate ball.
Damian Alford has come into the ball game, a freshman from Montreal in Quebec. Culpepper the throw, crossing route again. Harris will be pulled down, and the tackle made in the open field. And that's Pierre Lewis now, the safety, with a little bit of the loss to Powell. Roddy mentioned Aiden White. Pierre Lewis is also in one of the sub packages. Syracuse now trying to get guys on and off the field. NC State allowed to change. The Orange going to go for this on 4th and short. They'll toss to Tucker. And he will not get it. Guess who, Roddy? 11 for the Wolfpack. Flag down on the play.
I think NC State's got 12 guys on the field.
Jerry Magallanes talking it over with his crew.
Illegal substitution, 12 players, defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And the freshman safety, Joshua Pierre-Lewis, jogged off the field after that play in a telltale sign
that you had 12?
That you participated with an extra man. Yep.
Well, they were allowed. Now, to Magallanes and his crew's credit here, Roddy, they allowed them to perform the change.
Yep. You ran on one more guy than you ran off.
That's it.
So good job by this refereeing crew of letting it happen.
Here's Tucker. First conventional run play of the day. Not much there. Tanner Engel in the lineup. Was a decision process through the week. Missed the last 3 games with injury. Played about 24 snaps last Saturday night against Liberty, but to the point in the season where the injuries of 9 games are starting to pile up on Engel a little.
He's a physical player. He's listed at 188 pounds, but you wouldn't guess that watching his play. He's down near the line of scrimmage on the bottom of your screen.
Culpepper to work. Engel with the pressure. The throw is offline, and Engel belted Rex Culpepper, Roddy.
Talk about the physicality. I mean, this guy just throws his body around, came off the edge. NC State brought one extra man, one more than Syracuse could block. Sean Tucker does a good job of picking up Peyton Wilson. Tanner Engel delivers the hit. And Wes, this is 4-down territory for Syracuse. They went for it on the last 4th down, so Rex Culpepper doesn't have to get it all here.
Right.
You can check it down underneath. It'll be interesting to see if NC State goes man, because they've been beaten on those crossing routes.
Out of the backfield goes Tucker. Culpepper looking near sideline, Quealy, and overthrown. So Rex, who hit 3 of his first 5, has only hit 1 of his last 4.
And NC State decided to drop into a zone on that one. And Rex Culpepper opted to go deep when you probably should have just checked it down and lived to play another day. Looks like Syracuse is going to punt.
Yep, now they will punt. And here is Nolan Cooney, who is 3rd in the ACC and 15th nationally in average, but he's also 3rd in net at about 42 yards. If he punts at 42 yards here, it'll be in the end zone for a touchback as Thayer Thomas waits. And that ball will bounce, and it was touched by a man in the end zone, but pushed back out, and it will be a touchback. So NC State gets the ball, and here comes the left-hander Bailey Hockman. And Roddy, it's been a different twist for Hockman since last year's win against the Orange in Raleigh.
Yeah, this is a guy who, after his first 2 starts this year, remember, Tim Beck's a new offensive coordinator, so you look at his last 4 games where he's been much better. Really, the UNC game, the Miami game is where it started to click, and then was fantastic against Florida State. Last week was not his best performance, only 51% completions and 154 yards. We'll look to bounce back today.
Single back situation. There's a Mezzi in motion. Here's Hockman to throw on 1st down. Kerry Angeline, the tight end, across the 30, knocked out after a gain of 14 yards. And Amon Greenwood, nicknamed Smurf, the redshirt freshman from Washington, in the coverage for Syracuse. So Ricky Person starts the ball game in the backfield with Hockman. And he'll dump it down, and this is Person. A stiff arm frees him, 45, 50. And Person keeps his feet through traffic, and down the far sideline, Ricky Person scores. 66 yards. And NC State on the board in its 2nd snap.
Well, Ricky Person and Bam Knight form one of the best running back duos in the conference, but watch the effort after the catch. Just a little check down. He breaks the tackle from Mikel Jones, gets up the sideline, and then watch this block by Emeka Mezzi. Takes out 2 Syracuse defenders. Looks like he tiptoes down the sideline and is able to get in the end zone. What an effort by Ricky Person, and a nice heady play by Emeka Mezzi downfield.
Wow, sure was. And Person is in the end zone. It's his first touchdown catch of the year. Hockman throws his 9th.
Rolling on the field was a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Now, how was the toe tap, Roddy?
Well, let's see. He's got on those white cleats, so that's not going to do us any favors. Oh, I think he's out right there.
He's out right there.
Yep, it's going to come back. It's going to come back.
So the TD will go by the board, and it looks like right around the at the 49, maybe 5 more up at the Syracuse 46.
It's still a great decision by by Bailey Hockman to dump the ball down to his check down and let Ricky Person go to work. These 2 guys, Person and Bam Knight, are so hard to tackle in the open field that if you can get them the ball in space, they're going to make it tough on this Syracuse defense. So a nice decision by Bailey Hockman early in this game.
So Jerry Magallanes is the referee, and he's talking with Not only the group here, the replay official Steve McBride, but also the command center in Greensboro.
And those first two plays were interesting, Wes, because Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator for NC State, opted to go with the double move on this play. Emezi doesn't get it, and we're going to get another look. Watch that right foot right there. That's where he steps out. Foot on the line, no doubt about it. So they're going to have to figure out how much time's left on the clock, where the ball is, obviously.
45-yard line-ish. By the way, the Orange, they've just been confirmed, have started a half dozen freshmen today on defense. That's a program record.
It's incredible. And it bodes well for the future. The front is where the seniors are on this defense. Josh Black, McKinley Williams, and Kingsley Jonathan. But
right.
You look at that back end, and Ife Melifanu is about the only guy who's been in the program more than a couple seasons.
By the way, we're talking about a redshirt junior, Melifanu, who's
After further review, the runner stepped out of bounds at the 46-yard line, enough for the line to gain. Please reset the game clock to 11 minutes, 16 seconds. 11:16, it will start on my signal.
So the big touchdown pass of 66 yards is wiped off the board. Instead, it stands as a 14-yard completion and a first down for Bailey Hockman. Or, I'm sorry, a 20-yard completion and a first down for Bailey Hockman. And here is Person trying to bounce to the outside, and he gets helped out of bounds by Stephon Thompson, a true freshman from Charlotte, part of a state championship team at Vance High School, who started the ball game, started his first college game in Carolina, Roddy, back in September.
He's going to be a really good player. A lot of these young freshmen that we're going to talk about today for Syracuse are going to be really good players before their career's over.
Second in the full 10, and the ball got dropped by Porter Rooks. Trying to reverse it to the freshman Rooks, and he didn't clutch it. And NC State loses about 9 yards on the play.
And there was a ton of space over on that side. Blockers out front. Just watch how this thing clears out. There's not a lot of blue jerseys over on that side. Porter Rooks not able to handle it. Creates a third, and it's like close to 20.
So here is Hockman. On third and very long for NC State. Fifth best in the ACC on third down are the Wolfpack. And low throw toward Thayer Thomas. And a flag is going to be thrown on Josh Black for a hit on Hockman, I believe.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 85. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And a penalty against the Orange bails out NC State.
We're going to get a replay on this. Let's take a look. You're going to see Josh Black come up the middle. I don't know about that, Wes. I guess you could say that he fell on him too hard. I don't know. The hit certainly was not late. I don't think he could have pulled up at the time. I don't like that call. I'm sure I'll be hearing from somebody from the refereeing side telling me why, but I don't like that call at all.
All right. First and 10. After the penalty, the ball just outside the Orange 40. And Person bounces to the far side. A stiff arm carries him to the 25. A 15-yard run for Ricky Person. Jahad Carter, another one of those young guys in the Orange secondary, helped him out of bounds.
Yeah, going to the side of Ike Ekwonu and Joe Sculthorpe, able to move the left side of that offensive line and create a hole.
Here's Hockman from the pocket, puts it up. Emezi there, tried to make the catch against Melifanu, and a flag. And it's pass interference on Ifeatu Melifanu.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one by each team, and they will offset. Pass interference defense, number 2. Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, number 8. We will replay second down.
The Melifanu-Emezi matchup is worth the spotlight today, Roddy.
Oh, it is going to be fun to watch. Emeka Emezi, one of the best contested catch receivers in the conference, and Ifeatu Melifonwu, I said it in the open, should be getting a lot of ACC, all ACC love as this season comes to a close. The 6'3" corner has been one of the best in the conference.
Pistol set, Bam Knight's first appearance. He'll get the carry, tries to turn the edge, and boy, he got planted. Koba. Lee Koba, the sophomore linebacker from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, put a helmet right on the number 7 of Bam Knight.
You've got to give a lot of credit to number 17, though, Steve Linton, who's going to create the penetration on the left side of this defensive line, forcing Bam Knight out and allowing Lee Koba to lay the boom.
Second and long for the Wolfpack. Hockman for Emezi. Melifonwu right there on the hit at the 20-yard line. It'll leave NC State third and about 3.
This is where NC State wants to be. They're going to bring in a couple of extra bodies. Dylan Altenreith.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like Dylan Parham as well.
Yeah, Parham, who missed some time during the year. Altenreith missed 2 ball games. He's back in the lineup. Third and short. And it looked like Melifonwu, or Ekwonu, and Joe Sculthorpe started early off the left side. Were they drawn by McKinley Williams? Or Kingsley Jonathan, rather.
See Bailey Hockman in there lobbying, trying to plead his case.
Jerry Magallanes to give us the full interpretation.
Offside, defense, number 17 entered the neutral zone, causing an offensive lineman to react. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Steve Linton, redshirt freshman from Georgia. Canton Arcrew also might have moved into a gap. Instead, 1st and 10. And now Dino Babers wants Jerry Magallanes, and the headset's off and dragging. So a timeout taken by the Orange. A little bit of a mediation perhaps here, Roddy, as we go to timeout. Back after this.
Get a shot at Dave Doran and Dino Babers. Dino Babers' defense called for 3 penalties on this drive. He had finally had enough. Wanted a word with the referees before we went to break.
Yes, he did, and he got a timeout's worth of it. ACC Women's Hoops tomorrow. Tripleheader at noon. Kara Lawson, game 2 of her Duke career as their head coach against Western Carolina. And then ACC Women's Hoops presented by Food Line. Georgia Tech from McCamish Pavilion. Then at 4, Miami of Ohio against Coach Niele Ivey and number 22 Notre Dame, right here on ACC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app.
At least we get some clean old-fashioned hate this weekend. Some Georgia Tech this weekend.
Here is Bam Knight off the handoff from Hockman, taken down just outside the 5. Zonovan Knight. Roddy, we did his first ball game a year ago when they opened the campaign in 2019 against James Madison, ballyhooed recruit from Bailey, North Carolina, and Southern Nash, and he has had a very nice sophomore season. He and Ricky Person have really given the Wolfpack a strong ground attack to go with the developing play of both Devin Leary and Bailey Hockman at quarterback.
Yep, you're exactly right.
Here's Knight again, trying to find a seam left side, and he'll fall into the end zone for the Wolfpack touchdown. There is a flag down back over on the near side of the field. And let's see what we have here.
Offside defense, number 97. The penalty is declined. The ball was fumbled in the end zone by the runner of NC State and recovered. Result of the play is a touchdown.
So into the end zone goes Knight. It'll be his 8th rushing score of the year.
See the way Sculthorpe and Ekwonu handled the left side, and ball clearly out. NC State gets away with one, falling on it for a touchdown.
Yep. 7:38 to go, and here is Christopher Dunn to try and add the point. So the early long scoring play, Hockman to Person, where he stepped out of bounds. The Wolfpack finally cashes in. So NC State has taken a 7-0 lead here at the Dome at the midway point of quarter number 1. State, and of course you see an empty Carrier Dome or state health regulations here in New York. No one allowed to see this ball game, and we appreciate you being part of our broadcasting game, one of our triple header. And this is Syracuse on the return here, and back up the far sideline. Look at the Orange go. And the touchdown, unbelievable. Trevor Pena goes the distance. And Syracuse is on the board with Pena running.
NC State talked to us about the fact that Syracuse special teams under Justin Lustig have been one of the best in the conference ever since Dino Babers got here. They do a fantastic job with a right return, getting some nice blocks, and then Pena just does it with speed, outruns everybody up the sideline, and gives this Syracuse team a shot in the arm.
Thompson Bishop gave him a great block, and Trevor Pena goes the distance.
Just like that. And you get the feeling with the struggles of this offense and the struggles of this Syracuse team this year, a special teams play like that can give you a lot of confidence. You have so many guys on both sides of the ball involved in those teams. It really boosts your entire team.
So a 98-yard kickoff return. Andre Schmidt now to tie the ball game. And the point is good. And now all of a sudden, NC State in special teams finds itself back even because of Pena's kick return.
Look, there's a reason that Justin Lustig has to tell people no every season for other jobs, and it's because of how well coached these units are. I mean, just the Pena alone, the ability to run the ball up the field, up the hash before breaking out, keeps everybody in their lanes. You get the block set up on the outside, a hat on a hat on the active side, the play side of that return. It's just a really nice job by this Syracuse team, who you can see, despite the struggles of this year, they don't care. They're going to come out and play hard.
It had been since Dorian Graham took one to the house 98 yards 9 years ago against West Virginia.
This is their first ACC kickoff return for touchdown in the history of this school.
That's exactly right.
We've witnessed history here today, Will.
We have indeed. Ties the game at 7, and Dino Babers gets a big play from his special teams. By the way, you see the lights go down and come back up. That's part of this renovation here at the Dome. And even though there's not a spectator here today, they still do it and crank up the noise meter and the music and the like for Dino Babers. What a big play by Pena in the special teams.
Massive.
Knight and Houston are deep. Now Bam Knight took 100 yards against Miami. He will touch a knee here. Now Roddy, some coaches would say, yeah, we got the big special teams, but our defense that was just out there 9 plays goes right back out.
Yeah, 9 plays, not including the ones that were involved in the penalties. So they actually played more than that.
Right.
So yeah, it is still early in this game. We'll see how it affects them down the line. But you didn't have much time to make adjustments on the sideline. You didn't have much time to talk about what happened on that first drive. We'll see how it affects the Syracuse defense.
Well, Bailey Hockman back to work. Played at McEachern High School outside of Atlanta for his dad, Kyle, who is now the head coach at New Hampstead down in the Savannah area. This is Person on the carry. And Ricky Person will step for a yard. I only bring up New Hampstead because Kyle Hockman's team is at LaGrange tonight. Region 3 4A for the Phoenix of New Hampstead. And he did a marvelous job in several years, Roddy. As you know, we're both from the Atlanta area at McEachern.
He certainly did. And a lot of the reason why was he had a really talented quarterback and his son playing for him.
Yeah. Some really good teams there at McEachern. Person out. Knight has checked in. Kind of stepped onto the field and stayed out wide to the left here. Here's Hockman, slips it to Knight. Black got into the backfield and then had some help. Curtis Harper also back there for the Orange. And the defense knows it's been given a short change, if you will, after the kick return. And they've responded so far through the first 2 snaps.
That was one of those plays that you would expect a senior defensive lineman to recognize, diagnose, and Josh Black did just that. Last time Syracuse had NC State in this position, you had the roughing the passer penalty. We'll see what they're able to do here on another 3rd and long.
The tight end and 3 receivers here for Hockman. 3rd and very long for the Wolfpack. On the move, downfield. Angeline up the ladder to make the catch at the 40. Stretches for the first down to the 46. Roddy, Bailey Hockman continues to make plays in the throw game with his feet.
You almost feel like he's more comfortable when he's able to move a little bit, get outside of the pocket and deliver those passes. Kerry Angeline doing a nice job of finding a soft spot in the zone.
And here's Knight toward midfield. A flag is thrown from over in front of the NC State bench in the secondary. Now 2 flags have been thrown.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12 players on the field. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So each team's been caught once.
Yeah, well, once again, after the play ends and you see the player jog off the side and everyone else just stand there, telltale sign that you're playing with 12.
Yep.
But NC State ramped up the tempo right there and caught Syracuse off guard as they were trying to sub.
Knight stays in the ball game with Hockman. That's Angeline, who had the catch a moment ago in motion. And here's Knight again, left side behind Ekwonu. And that should be enough for a first down to right around the 43-yard line.
You mentioned left side just a second ago. They have really liked in the run game going there early in this one, feeling like Skolthorpe and Ekwonu gave them the best chance to get some yards on the ground.
Yep. Here's Knight, that time trying to find a seam in the A gap and pushes across to about the 38. Here's the other thought, too. You've got Ekwonu, who's obviously having a great year. Skolthorpe's your most veteran offensive lineman. Today's his 24th career start. Many of them have come at left guard. Your center, Gibson's 22 starts. The right side, not nearly as much experience there. Hockman will push the pocket. Thought about running, spins through traffic, now going to reroute. Needs a block. Skolthorpe helps him out. Hockman inside the 30 and dives to the 26. You want to tell me about this one?
How often do you see the quarterback reverse field and go back the other way like that? I mean, that just shows you the attitude that Bailey Hockman has, though. I mean, he's going to make plays no matter what. Does a nice job of reading the front side of the play. When it's not there, he sees all white jerseys on the back. And he's just going to cut it back. The spin move, and then, all right, all my offensive linemen are this way. Let me run there. And they stay active in the play, getting him some blocks, getting a positive play out of it.
Skolthorpe got enough of Marlowe Wax, the linebacker, to let Hockman peel down to the 26-yard line. And here's our man Ekwonu.
He's going to look for work, I'll tell you that. And Jihad Carter wisely says, I'm going to lose this one. Let me go over the top of that block. He's fun to watch. This whole offensive line's fun to watch. And you mentioned, Wes, just the experience level.
Right.
The thing is with this offensive line, Skolthorpe is the only guy they're not going to get back next year. So this is a group that's going to continue to grow and get better. Grant Gibson, a redshirt junior. Dylan McMahon, a redshirt freshman. Bryson Spees, a redshirt junior. And then Ike Ekwonu right there, the sophomore, who I'm telling you, in the offseason, there's going to be some draft talk around this guy because of his ability to move, the athleticism, and the fact that he is a dominating, crushing run blocker.
Well, let me tell you about Ekwonu, because we told you at the top, today's his 22nd career game. He's got 77 pancake blocks. And when you get a pancake block, Roddy, at NC State, you get a bottle of syrup.
Yeah, or if you're Mark Packer, you get one too.
Well, yeah, my partner in the mornings. He got one. Compliments of Coach Doran, which was a very nice gesture.
Well, they love it. You need some syrup to go on your pancakes, and the offensive lineman absolutely love it. When he was on the show with you guys, said that predates him, but it's fun. When you get those trophies for your pancake blocks, it just gives you a little extra incentive to go out there and crush some people.
I tell you what, I need to give a hat tip to Annabelle Myers, by the way, for helping Icky get the pancakes.
Yeah, oh yeah, when he
for
was
the
on the
appearance
show.
on the show.
Of course,
I got to give a hat tip to Annabelle. It's all about the details, and she helped Icky out. We had a great visit with him, by the way. What a fun guy to talk to. Talented football player. Dave Dorn said the first time he saw him, you just knew it was there. Kingsley Jonathan, by the way, was the injured Syracuse player. Here's Hockman now on 1st and 10. Again, out of the pocket. And he will stretch it for about 5 to the 21. Another play, versatile play for Bailey Hockman, who a moment ago showed some reliability in his own run game and has gotten off to a 5-for-5 passing start here today.
And Kingsley Jonathan's come off the field and gone into the tent, but Jordan Houston, the sort of scat back of the bunch, is in the backfield with Bailey Hockman.
And here goes Houston, smashing away for a couple of yards. Jordan Houston was a guy. He's only had 2 carries, Roddy, in the last 4 games. He did catch 4 passes in those 4 games. But he's a guy, because of Person and Knight's emergence, I don't want to say forgotten, but maybe overlooked a little bit in terms of what he can give you.
Jordan Houston's going to have a really good career in an NC State uniform. There's just not enough balls to go around in that backfield right now. His versatility is going to be used at some point, though.
3rd and short, Person back in the ball game. Final 3 minutes of period 1, and Ricky Person to work. 1st down and more. And the stack moved all the way down near the 10-yard line.
Wes, there was like a surge away. Watch the left side of this line. They just cave it down over there. Ricky Person feels the soft spot, is able to work back that way. But Ike Ekwonu and Joel Skolthorpe on the zone play just cave the left side of the line and get the 1st down.
Parham up on the line now with him on that left side. Here's Hockman, bootleg out the back door goes Bailey Hockman for the corner. Did he hit the pylon? He did for the Wolfpack touchdown.
Rolling on the field is a touchdown.
Bailey Hockman goes about 11 yards for the score.
Well, you go left side, left side, left side. How do you counter that? Just a little quarterback boot. Does a great job of selling the fake. Jeff Canton-Arku isn't able to get to him. That's one of those where, Wes, he fooled everybody and their mama. Did he step out of bounds is the question. I did not see a foot on the line.
Hit the pylon.
Hit the pylon. This will give us a great shot of it. Watch those feet.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
So he gets down close. That foot's well in bounds. Nothing else touches. Hits the pylon. Looks like ball crosses the end line before anything hits out of bounds. That's a touchdown.
Yep. And if so, the Wolfpack's going to be in the end zone on a 10-play touchdown drive. And they're 2 for 2, Roddy, on possessions.
And on both of those drives, Syracuse has had NC State with a 3rd and 10 plus.
Right.
One of them was negated by the roughing the passer, and then the second one, Bailey Hockman moves in the pocket, delivers to Kerry Angeline, and I think you've seen early all the skills that make Bailey Hockman dangerous. Well, the other question, Wes, is does he lose possession before he crosses? That's the other question. Well, we weren't necessarily considering that before, but they're also going to look to make sure that he has possession when the ball crosses that end line, because he does lose it eventually. Let's take a look at it.
Remember, the ruling on the field is a touchdown, and you have to have, Roddy, indisputable video evidence.
Yeah, and he reaches that ball out. It does start to come out right around the line.
But does he hit the pylon?
That's the question. And they are able to piece these two replays together to say, all right, here's what we saw out of that one. Let's take it from what we saw out of another one. So the ball clearly does come out at some point. The question is, has it crossed the end zone? This may give us the best look at when the ball comes out. So he reaches the arm out. Does he still have possession? See, I think he's fumbling it right there.
Well, then he fumbles it out before he hits the pylon, so would they get the ball at the doorstep?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's indisputable video evidence, but it is darn close. I could see this kind of going either way. because Hockman does lose possession of the football. The question is, does the nose of the ball break the plane prior to that happening? They're going to have to sort of piece this together like a puzzle to try and figure it out.
So then the possession of the ball, if he's in the end zone, if he lost it after he broke the plane, it's a touchdown.
Matter. Correct.
Right? If he loses it before the pylon, then he loses it out of bounds, Roddy. Or does he lose it through the end zone, right?
That's another piece of this that you're going to have to figure out. See, when he starts to reach it out, I think he's lost control of the ball right there.
But is he in the end zone?
Off of that replay, I do not believe he is.
So then the ball's at the doorstep.
So then the question is, where does the ball go out of bounds?
Oh, boy, here we go.
And if it goes out of the bounds to the end zone, it's going to be Syracuse
After
ball.
further review, the runner lost control of the ball before breaking the plane and was fumbled through the back of the end zone.
Wow.
The result of the play is a touchback.
How about
First
that?
down, Syracuse
How
at the
about
20-yard line.
So it took us a second to get there, but we got there when the refs did. So just an unfortunate turn of events for NC State.
4th red zone turnover this year by NC State.
Well, and it's against the Syracuse defense that has created more turnovers than anybody in the country.
Yep.
But check out the hustle by Canton Arku. Watch as he reaches out the ball. Does Bailey? He's going to lose the ball as he's starting to reach it out. Ball's out right there, and then it goes through the end zone, out of bounds.
There you go.
Touchback for Syracuse.
6th time this year the Orange has forced a red zone turnover, Roddy.
Incredible.
It is. Syracuse in a 7-7 game. Culpepper at the quarterback spot slings it to Harris. And it'll be 14.5 yards for Taj Harris. Sidebar to this, the Orange offense has been okay, Roddy, but the reality of it is the Pena kickoff return for a score and NC State's misgiving at the pylon has kept this thing dead level.
Yep. And what they've done on the past 2 plays is what Rex Culpepper, that's where he's going to have to live. Crossing routes like we saw in the first drive, if you get man-to-man. If you get soft zone, you're going to have to take that hitch, either to the boundary or to the field. He's liked going to the boundary.
Personal foul, face mask defense, number 56. 15-yard penalty, first down.
He's going to have to take that throw over and over and over and over and over as long as NC State's willing to give it.
And you see that the Wolfpack's Val Martin.
That was an unnecessary penalty in every sense of the words.
In Wolfpack territory, Sean Tucker pulled down by Peyton Wilson after a couple. Peyton Wilson comes in, ACC leader in tackles per game at almost 11. He's 4th in the country in that category. He had 19 against Duke. And he's had 5 games this year of double figures or more. He changes the entire engine for Tony Gibson's defense.
He absolutely does. Athletic linebacker that's not afraid to let you know about it.
Here's Tucker again. And he will break the plane of the 40 down to about the 38. And 3rd and about 4 coming up. I had somebody tell me this week who follows NC State that Peyton Wilson changes us from 4 to 6 cylinders on defense. I was like, okay.
And then I guess Tanner Ingle must be the Hemi then.
You're right.
Puts it into overdrive.
That's it. Yep. The boost.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Culpepper from an empty set. Quick throw, Harris the catch, and there's Ingle on cue. But I think Taj Harris on the cross got enough for the first. Sure did.
They're going to make it easy for Rex Culpepper. You move Taj Harris in the slot on 3rd downs, and if you get man-to-man and pressure, you just go to the crosser coming over the middle. That's what they've gone with on 3rd down.
And Syracuse checks in the Rhino. Chris Elmore's left his left guard spot, Roddy, and he's plugged in back at the fullback spot. 1st and 10, Elmore in to try and help. Tucker cannot get away from Wilson off the left side. And that'll be the final play of the first period. Well, NC State kind of had a 7-0 lead, getting ready to put their defense back on the field, and Trevor Pena never let it happen. 98-yard kickoff return, and then a fumble at the pylon by NC State. Level par after 15 minutes. Well, with Roddy Jones, Wes Durham, our ACC Network crew, Russ Winham, our producer, Tim Sutton, our director, and 15 minutes in, we're right where we started. Syracuse with Rex Culpepper at the quarterback spot, opens the quarter with a throw to Harris, who steps away from one and tries to fight for more yardage. And Tosh Harris finally taken down by Shaheem Battle out of bounds near the 25. And the Orange playing with a little vim and vigor here today, Roddy, in a game where maybe NC State thought they might get the chance to push them around, and the Orange going to match the physicality here.
Yeah, one of the things that you're always looking for when you have a team that struggled like Syracuse is, are they excited to be here? Are they excited to play the game? And I would say the answer is an emphatic yes here today. Tosh Harris has always been a slippery player in terms of breaking tackles after the catch. You saw it on display there.
So the ball for play at the 25, and there's the Wolfpack defense chopping down Tucker with Tanner Ingle. Peyton Wilson also gets up off the stack with Daniel Joseph.
In the run game today, it seems like where you've seen 11, you've seen 10, either right behind him or right in front of him. Dino Babers, after that loss, is going to opt to kick a long field goal.
And Schmidt, by the way, longest 48 at Duke. This will be 45. Cooney will hold. Belinsky handles these snaps for the Orange. 45 yards. To put the Orange in front. And the kick is away, and it is good. So the 45-yard field goal opens the scoring. Dino Babers and the Orange now up 3 on NC State.
Get the latest news and information from the ACC each morning with special guests from the world of sports. My partner Wes Durham and Mark Packer bring you Packer and Durham weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on ACCN and the ESPN app. You guys are going to have a lot to talk about. You got a Notre Dame win over North Carolina, a lot of basketball to talk about.
Got some hoops to talk about, some good and some bad in hoops, by the way.
I would say
some
in the
good
ACC,
and some bad.
A little too much bad in the ACC.
Really? Early hoops talk from you, huh? Nice.
You want my hoop stakes? We can do that. I'll come on the show and talk about that.
Well, Packer will welcome that, I'm sure. No return for Bam Knight, by the way, so the Wolfpack now finds itself down 10-7 after the Schmidt field goal. Trevor Pena's, by the way, his kick return, it had been 113 games for Syracuse since their last kick return for a score. It's not the longest streak in the league.
What would that be? You want me to guess?
I'd like for you to guess. And it's going to be one that will, I think, surprise you.
Oh, man, okay. Virginia Tech? No, David Wilson probably had $1 million of it.
Here is Hockman rolling left, and the ball is fumbled out on the catch and recovered. Syracuse has got it, and the Orange working their way toward the end zone, and that's Mikel Jones again. Sixth takeaway of the year and his 4th pick.
You know, Wes, there's some guys that just have a gravitational pull for the football. Mikel Jones is one of them. It helps to always be around the ball. But this pass, just a little bit behind C.J. Riley. A nice job forcing the hit by Ife Melifonwu. Ball goes up in the air. Mikel Jones gets his 4th interception of the year. C.J. Riley still down on the ground. But once again, Syracuse defense coming up with a takeaway in this game.
C.J. Riley, the intended receiver, is the injured player for NC State. 1st and goal for the Orange when we come back.
Watch C.J. Riley as he comes across on the drag. The throw is a little behind him. Bailey Hockman trying to slow his momentum so that he doesn't get intersected by that corner. And Ife Melifonwu just goes with a brutal hit right at the base of the spine, top of the glutes on C.J. Riley, who has been taken to the tent. But the physicality of the defense and just the pursuit to the ball creates a turnover for Syracuse.
So now here's Culpepper First and goal inside the 5, and Culpepper trying to throw to the end zone and incomplete. Overshoots the tight end, Luke Benson, who's got one of the longer touchdown catches by a tight end in Syracuse history a year ago against Holy Cross. And running off for the Wolfpack across the way, that's Jakeem Harris.
Yeah, he never went down to the ground, so you got to think he got stepped on or something. Maybe he got scraped up on his leg, but he did a nice job covering that pass.
Or how about the sudden change for both schools here already in this first? What a busy opening quarter. It took almost 50 minutes, Roddy.
Yeah.
And now we're having bang-bang plays going the other way.
Syracuse has to convert here.
Yep.
I feel like the momentum's all on their side.
Here's Culpepper again, and offline. Quealy and Nakeem Johnson across the way, Roddy. Did they miscommunicate there?
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to run that natural pick play where Quealy comes over the top, picks Johnson's guy, and they just never get there. Quealy takes too long to set it up, never gets to his depth. Johnson runs into him. It looks like Bad News Bears over there. And you've quickly gone to a situation where you feel really good about where you are, and you've had 2 plays where you've gotten nothing.
They take Benson, the tight end, out and squeeze Sherrod Johnson in. Over in that little bunch, look to the left side. Leave Harris to the right. Culpepper locks in, throws. Quealy had a shot at it. Good defensive work by NC State. The Wolfpack had Aiden White fighting here.
Aiden White has done a nice job, but you've got a shot at that if you're Anthony Quealy. It's right in his hands. Just the concentration not there. And Syracuse, after a quick change, able to get down inside the 5-yard line. 3 incomplete passes, and you're kicking a field goal.
Yep. So started off the state 4-yard line, and now here is Schmidt to try and push it to a 6-point game. And the kick is good. So it'll be a field goal, 22 yards. So they've kicked a pair of field goals in about a half minute. Dave Doran knows that's a good hold for his team.
Well, it's a monster win for that defense. I mean, that was the first play out. You're right back on the field. You've got to go back at it, and Dave Doran, guy, is able to get off the field.
Well, here in Central New York, it's been a tough week. The passing unexpectedly of Marcus Paul a couple of days ago, former Orange Letter winner, one of the great players who's now part of the Dallas Cowboys organization. And then word late last week that one of the great 44s in Syracuse football history, Floyd Little, has entered hospice care in his battle with cancer. 3-time All-America, 2,700 yards, 35 touchdowns. And last Sunday, what a nice moment. Vic Fangio. Floyd Little was a lifelong Denver Bronco who ultimately made the NFL's Hall of Fame about 10 years ago, Roddy. And Vic Fangio, at the tail end of Denver's win last week, presented the game ball to Floyd Little.
What an incredible ambassador for the game. An incredible football player. Such an incredible representation of what it is to be a great man and a great symbol of hope.
Yep. And our thoughts with the great Floyd Little, and that with the family of Marcus Paul and all the legions of Syracuse alums who followed the exploits of those two men. They had a moment of silence here before the ball game today for Marcus Paul, who was the strength and conditioning coach for the Cowboys, who had won 3 Super Bowls, by the way, as a member of coaching staffs. And you see the 44 here, honored in so many different ways. Ernie Davis, Jim Brown, Floyd Little, all wearing that 44. Kick through the end zone. The Wolfpack now down 6. Led 7-0. Been 13 in a row by Dino Baber's team. And Hockman trying to get Thayer Thomas unlocked. Got a yard there. Melifonwu chased him down. And Thomas has been quiet so far.
He has been. Moving the football has not really been the issue for NC State on offense. The issue has been the things that have shot him in the foot. The 2 turnovers have really been the cause of it. And they've been helped some, but they've really been able to move the ball almost at will.
Yep. Second down, 9. Hockman to his left. Quick throw, trying to go to Angeline. Orange played it well. Greenwood again. Redshirt freshman from Washington, D.C. on the play.
How good was the technique there by Greenwood? He's on the hip of Angeline, the bigger tight end. Bailey Hockman throws it. He doesn't panic, just sticks his arm in there and knocks it down. And now, it's third down. Syracuse looks like it's going to be in some sort of zone. The question is, can Bailey Hockman find a way to find an open receiver?
Wolfpack's 2 for 2 on third down. Came in at almost 43%. Hockman from the pocket, sails. Thomas the catch in the first down for NC State. Jahad Carter was there. And another grab in traffic. Reliable Thayer Thomas.
Well, how about the ability by Bailey Hockman to throw this ball while he's getting grabbed? The strength, the core strength to be able to deliver an accurate throw, and then Thayer Thomas coming back to it is a nice job of completing it on the other end.
Off the 45-yard line. Here's Knight again, left side. Steps out of 1 and will pick up about 6, maybe 7 on the play. Bryson Spees looked like he pulled around Roddy after Ikwanu had demolished the left side. From his left side, the right side of what Syracuse was doing defensively.
You got to feel like Ike Ikwanu loves those down blocks. You got a couple pullers coming around and able to get a nice gain on first down.
Here's Knight again trying to fight through. And the Orange get Jahad Carter, another young guy, freshman from Richmond, Virginia.
And another third down for Syracuse. As you said just a second ago, NC State now 3 for 3 on these third downs. Syracuse has gone some man, they've gone some zone. The only time they were able to get an incompletion, there was the roughing the passer penalty.
Got Jordan Houston kind of in a slot here toward the bottom of the formation with a Mezzi. That's Houston on the orbit. Hockman in trouble and sacked. Melifonwu again. The corner blitz stymies the Wolfpack's third down success.
Well, Bailey Hockman should have gone to the other side of the formation. He's going to look to his right just briefly. He's got to throw that ball to Jordan Houston right away. He had him open in the flat and let him run. Does not do that. Didn't like something over there. And Melifonwu on the corner blitz gets the sack.
So the Wolfpack will punt it away. Trenton Gill. And a 6-point lead for the Orange and Nykeem Johnson. Number 1 in the ACC, 10th nationally in punt return average at just under 13 weights. Gill hangs it high. And the fair catch called for right around the 15-yard line. So with just ahead of 10 minutes to go and a 6-point lead for the Orange, remind you that coming up tonight, 11 o'clock, Huddle After Dark. Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, Mark Rick. Complete breakdowns of all the ACC games. The 4 today, the 1 yesterday. Details, insights, and more. No tie required for the Huddle late night on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
Yeah, the Huddle, another place where pancakes have made an appearance on the network. Eric McLean broke them out last week.
Can't keep a good man down, Roddy.
I've got Pancake Watch on lock. Pancakes appear on the network. I am there.
Was that the week after Cornette had cake?
There's a lot of food going around on that show. And after dark,
Coach Rick had lunch served. I remember that. That was early in the year.
Coach Rick is the guy that I go to for my food expertise. I mean, the 10-bite sandwich, the Thanksgiving layout. Coach Rick's always got sound advice. I listen whenever he talks.
Culpepper misfires. So 2nd and 10 with Tucker in the backfield. You see Elmore's also been plugged in to help. Here's Culpepper going to take the shot for Harris against Battle, offline and incomplete.
It's the second shot that Syracuse has taken. And in those situations, Rex Culpepper, you see his frustration with himself. You got to give your receiver a chance. If you throw it out of bounds, there's no chance for a catch. There's no chance for a pass interference. It's really just a wasted play. You got to keep it in bounds. Syracuse quickly is in a 3rd and 10 situation. And Wes, 3rd and 10 kind of takes away those crossers that they've been trying to do so much. Takes away the underneath stuff.
Whole new set of receivers for Culpepper as well. Harris came through on a cross. Now looking for Tucker and dropped it, and a flag. And we got an ineligible man downfield. We had two guys, Vittorello and I think Dakota Davis. Tisdale might have been one of them. I think they had 2 or 3 guys that this could be on. And once Culpepper chose Tucker, that brought that into play.
Yeah, and look, the initial sign is pass interference, and it may be on Taj Harris, that block that was thrown earlier. This is a play that's supposed to be thrown behind the line of scrimmage, which would make all of that legal. But because Culpepper had to sort of work, Tucker had to float upfield, it becomes pass interference.
Right.
Pass interference, offense number 3. The penalty is declined, 4th down.
So a 3 and out for the Orange.
And 2 really bad possessions for Syracuse, their last 2 times. I mean, you get the turnover that gets you down inside the 5-yard line, 3 incomplete passes, and you're done. You get the ball after a great stop by your defense, 3 incomplete passes, and you're done.
High punt from Cooney. Thomas will make the fair catch near midfield. NC State trails 6, 9 and change to go, first half. Coming up at the break, Jordan Cornette and the fellas with the State Farm halftime report. What we learned from Notre Dame's 2-touchdown win in Chapel Hill yesterday, and a look to this afternoon's start at Frank Howard Field of Pittsburgh and number 3 Clemson. Here at the Dome, the Wolfpack takes over at its 49.
What we learned is that Notre Dame defense is for real.
Ooh. Here's Hockman in trouble again, spinning away from one and won't get away from the other. Stephon Thompson fights through for the sack, and it looked like Kingsley Jonathan helped set the table.
And this is the frustrating thing when you've got Bailey Hockman back there. He's trying to make a play and continues to lose ground. You should throw the ball away at some point. Here he tries to and almost turns the ball over again. It's a good job of holding on to it, but man, oh man, how many times recently on the last few drives Syracuse created a negative play and made it tough for NC State.
2nd and 23 now. 9 minutes to go. Hockman quick throw, a Mezzi against Melifonwu, and hit made promptly at the 40. It'll only be a gain of about 4. So 3rd and 19 is the Wolfpack down in distance.
We've seen Bailey Hockman create on a 3rd and long before. Going to try and get a look at what Syracuse is doing. Can't imagine Syracuse brings a ton of pressure here. It's just going to be about, can you make it 4th and manageable enough to make Dave Doran think about going for it.
Orange with pressure. Hockman cuts it loose, looking for Thomas, who cannot make the catch, but will draw the flag against Adrian Cole. 3 markers are thrown.
Pass interference, defense number 10. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's the 2nd 3rd and long that NC State's been bailed out. You could have gotten a hold early on in this play, but Cole never turns around to look for the ball, goes right through the body of Thayer Thomas. You got to turn and make a play on the football. You can't continue to push and hold your arm out. You got to trust your technique. He's in great position. Just turn around and make a play on the ball.
Yep. Person in the ball game on the fresh set of downs for the Wolfpack at the Orange 45. And here is Ricky Person. Picked up 5 at least, took a big lick. Linton, Carter, Bear Williams. There's Steve Linton from Dublin, Georgia. 2nd down, Hockman dropped the snap, and then about the time he picked it up, the Orange are there again. Jahad Carter's been around the football in the first half.
He certainly has. I think a lot of these, you've seen the Syracuse defense, the mistakes that come with the young team, but the energy that this team is playing with, especially on the defensive football, has been noticeable. But I mean, the sloppiness of NC State this last quarter or so has been incredible.
Yep. 3rd down and 8 now for Hockman in the pack. Back across the middle, Angeline in traffic to catch, and a 1st down to the 23. Boy, Kerry Angeline has been such a weapon. Jones the stop for the Orange.
His development this season for Dave Doran and his team has been really impressive. Angeline becomes a big weapon the closer they get down to the goal line. But just to go back to that 3rd down, Wes, that was, we've seen a couple of instances in man where they've given up some plays via penalty. They went zone for the 2nd time, and NC State's able to convert 3rd and long.
Yep. Here is Person, and he'll drive it for about 8, maybe 9 toward the 15. Roddy, we talked to both staffs this week about playing a 3-3-5. Yep. Tony White, his 3-3-5, believe it or not, it's a little different than what Tony Gibson does. There are some nuances. Both said we're probably making more of it than we should, but that zone-to-man conversion you spoke of a moment ago, that's one of the wrinkles that we were talked about this week.
Syracuse likes to play a lot of man-to-man coverage, and when you have situations where you've been beat and your guys aren't trusting their technique, it's hard to.
Here's Hockman throwing for the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, and that's Thayer Thomas. Beautiful throw, and Rob Hanna had pretty good coverage for Syracuse.
And remember, Thayer Thomas is the one that forced the pass interference earlier in the drive on 3rd and long. Here it's man-to-man once again against Rob Hanna. Leans into him, breaks away. The throw is perfect from Bailey Hockman. And NC State's an extra point away from taking the lead in this ballgame.
Yep. So here's Dunn to try and push the Pack back in front. And with 6:05 to go, Bailey Hockman has thrown the touchdown pass, his 9th of the year. Thayer Thomas catches but his 4th. And NC State's got a 1-point advantage at the Dome when we continue. Well, Thayer Thomas catches his 4th touchdown pass of the year. 15-yarder from Bailey Hockman, 7 plays, 51 yards on the drive for the Wolfpack. And the point changes the game at 14-13. And the Orange will start from its 25 after the kick by Gill through the end zone. And Rex Culpepper, who's had an 8 for 18 first half. And it's really the special teams play of Pena, the interception by Jones that set up a couple field goals. Then they had the opportunity to get the score on a 1st and goal, Roddy, and then NC State shut them down.
Yeah, Rex Culpepper's last 6 passes have been incomplete ones. And NC State, this defense, is trying to get the ball back to a hot offense. Syracuse can ill afford a 3-and-out here.
Yep, and the Wolfpack gets the ball to start the half. Here's the throw, and this is Culpepper trying to go to Benson, the tight end. And Drake Thomas the play on Luke Benson. Sophomore out of Central Bucks West High School. One of many schools in Pennsylvania that's got a proud high school tradition. Gain of a couple. 2nd and 8. Another quick throw. Harris, and a hit, and dislodging the football was Shy Battle.
And Syracuse on its last 8 plays, you've had 8 passes. Only 1 of them complete. You see the big hit on the boundary, and NC State knows this. So they've taken away those easy completions underneath by playing 3 safeties deep and playing those 2 corners underneath, almost like cover 2 corners, but you've got 3 guys over the top to take away those quick hitches and the quick outs that Syracuse has had success with. The question is, how does Syracuse have success when their initial source of their offense has been taken away?
Yep, and the Orange, who is 2 for 7 on 3rd down, has 3rd and 8. And now timeout will be taken.
Syracuse, their 2nd timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Play clock wound. So a 1-point lead. Dino Babers and his team talk about it. We give you an opportunity to visit with our friends at Taco Bell.
Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack. Delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Only at Taco Bell.
1-point lead for NC State with Roddy Jones, West Durham. Syracuse, who's lost 6 straight, facing an NC State team that's won their last 2 and 5 of the last 7. And this has been one where Dino Babers said we have to match their physicality. And they have, for the most part, Roddy, but NC State keeps bringing that physicality.
They certainly do. They're going to bring it over and over and over. And Syracuse has really seemed to abandon the run game these last 3 drives. They have no choice but throw it here.
2-by-2 with a tight end for Culpepper. Across the middle, that's Harris trying to get away. Challenge is met, but he will have enough to cross out and convert against Joshua Pierre-Louis. The stiff arm by Harris freed him up to pick up the first to the 35.
Get a crossing route again. Taj Harris running away, and then it's just all about individual effort and want to. You get the initial stiff arm, you get the second stiff arm, pushes just enough to get the first down. You gotta love the competitive nature of Taj Harris. I mean, this is a guy that plays with his emotions on his sleeve. He's a fun guy to watch when he gets the ball in his hands.
Yep. 37 catches a year ago. Came into the ball game with that number today. Here's Tucker now as the Orange try to see if they can spark it on the ground. A couple of yards for Sean Tucker. Tucker's had a pair of 100-yard games. Isaiah Moore the stop. First time we've called Moore's name. The middle linebacker for the Wolfpack, who was a star in so many ways last week. 13 tackles, 2 behind the line against the Flames. Culpepper slinging it for Quealy, and a catch in front of the Orange bench against Tyler Baker Williams. Roddy, the way Culpepper delivers the ball, does NC State risk a chance here on a pick? I mean, he hangs it up a little bit.
He certainly does down the field as we get a look at this catch. Nice job snagging it off the turf.
Yep.
Before it hits the ground. But you kind of get the sidearm delivery sometimes. It's not exactly technically sound. It's not what the quarterback coaches are going to teach you. But on that one, it's effective enough.
Dino Babers thinking about a timeout and going to punch it here. There was something amiss with his formation on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 5.
Before the play clock expired, timeout was called by Syracuse. Their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Rex Culpepper, who's making his 4th start today of the season. And Culpepper, who is a remarkable story, survived testicular cancer. His dad, Brad, of course, great player at the University of Florida, later in the National Football League. But Culpepper lives in the right neighborhood. He got himself a new neighbor in the HOA this offseason, Roddy. Tom Brady moved into the neighborhood. No report if Tom and Rex worked in the street on the throw game during the pandemic.
Rex probably needed to help Tom with directions. I heard that he was
oh yeah, there is that story.
Unfamiliar and stumbled into the incorrect house.
Yeah. Brady, of course, renting the house of Derek Jeter in the Tampa area as he quarterbacks the Buccaneers. Culpepper's cancer story, though, is inspiring from the standpoint that it changed everything about him. And the hair is just one of the things that marks it. He has not had a haircut since he was declared cancer-free. He'll push the pocket left here on the 3rd down. Teeing one up for Nykeem Johnson in stride. And he scores to give the Orange the lead. .323 to go in the first half, and the Orange offense that had kind of been stalling goes downtown on 3rd down.
Well, they roll him out to give him more time, still under a little bit of pressure, and slings one downfield after the double move by Nykeem Johnson. One of the fastest guys on the field anytime he's there. Number 4, able to get behind the NC State defense. And how about this Syracuse team and Rex Culpepper?
60-yard throw to go with a 98-yard kickoff return in this first half for the Orange. Schmidt's point after has given Syracuse back a 6-point lead.
Just the pressure on the backside. Rex Culpepper knows he's going to get hit. Still delivers it. You had kind of a double move, a natural pick. Nykeem Johnson able to get past Tyler Baker-Williams. And look, the NC State coaches told us they have some speed. Does the Syracuse Orange on their team. Nykeem Johnson was one of the guys that they pointed out as a burner, and it hurt him there.
Second non-red zone touchdown of the year for the Orange. 60 yards from Culpepper to Johnson.
Oh, I just like the attitude of Rex Culpepper in that sequence. Struggled down the stretch when you talk about the 2 3 and out, 6 incomplete passes, had some incomplete passes early in this drive, and on a 3rd and medium, rolls out and slings it down the field, completes the pass. You gotta love that from your quarterback. Even through the times where they've struggled, still gonna go out there and sling it.
The kick for Knight, 3 yards deep. He's gonna bring it out and chop down at the 12. Wow. Canton Arku, the linebacker. You mentioned the special teams coverage, Roddy, both in the return and in the cover. We've seen it flash both ways here for Syracuse.
I was a little surprised to see Bam Knight bring that out. I mean, I would guess that NC State coaches are going to say, hey, use your discretion, but this is a really good unit on the kickoff team for Syracuse, and they're able to create some really good field position. Now it's up to the defense to get this offense off the field.
Well, and now the premium on this particular drive for the Wolfpack gets even higher. Here's Hockman in trouble, and that'll be a safety, I believe. Ball thrown out of the back of the end zone. Flag is down.
Wes, I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Jerry Magallanes.
There is no foul on the play. However, the ruling on the field, the quarterback threw a backwards pass outside the back of the end zone. Result of the play is a safety.
Yep. Marlowe Wax peeled in, and the Orange defense is delivering the goods now.
Well, Bailey Hockman's got to have some awareness. He obviously knows he's going to get tackled in the end zone, and I'm not exactly sure what he's thinking throwing the ball, but you've got to know that if your initial read isn't there, you got to get the ball away. You cannot risk a sack in this situation. He tries to scramble like he always does, and it creates a situation where he kind of freaks out a little bit, throws the ball out of the back of the end zone, and it's a safety. And I mean, my goodness, all of the opportunities that Syracuse has had, they've continued to create them no matter what, putting pressure on Bailey Hockman and really forcing the issue for this NC State team. They're going to get the ball back in a dangerous situation. As you said, NC State gets the ball first to start the second half.
Right.
But, I mean, if Syracuse puts points up here.
Well, it's now become an 8 on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going back and forth between 5 and 6, and now you're to 8.
And go back to the decision to bring the ball out of the end zone. Special teams for Syracuse, creating a situation where they're backed up, where NC State's backed up inside their own 20. The defense creates a safety, and they're going to get the ball back.
9 points in 11 seconds to go with 6 points in 31 seconds earlier in the quarter. And here's Johnson off the kick, and the fair catch will put it at the 25.
And that's going to be a coaching point too. You don't fair catch that.
No.
I mean, you're 7 steps away from the 25. You're certainly going to get to the 25, and anything else you get is just
on the kickoff, first
bonus.
down at the 25-yard line.
Okay, now. Orange out of timeouts with 3:12 left. Culpepper's got to be feeling great, Roddy, right?
And I would guess, if nothing else, you're going to see a run on this first play, and then maybe you get into a situation where you're throwing the football, but you want to get the clock running a little bit here.
Tucker's the back. And Sean Tucker on first down. Tries to fight to the perimeter. Tanner Ingle cuts him down. Terrell Dawkins, big zero in there, kind of set the edge in the Wolfpack run defense.
Tanner Ingle has been so aggressive out of the secondary in the run game today. Syracuse really has not been able to take advantage of it with any sort of play action. They tried down in the end zone, trying to get Luke Benson slipping the tight end up the seam. They really have not been able to take advantage of NC State's aggression in the run game.
What a wild half, huh?
Wild. And long.
Yeah, long. Well over an hour and a half. Whoa! And the ball. Tucker held on to the hit after the hit from Baker Williams. Goodness. And now I think NC State's going to stop the clock with 2:21 to go.
It's smart on Dave Doran's part. But watch this. I have been in this situation too many times to admit where you've got to catch a pitch and you know the hit's coming. And let me tell you, there's no more helpless feeling as a running back. When that ball is in the air, you know you've got to catch it. And you're just waiting for the hit to come. You're begging the ball to come faster, faster. It's a good job by Sean Tucker of holding on to it.
I'll tell you this. Drake Thomas put the pressure on Culpepper. And Tyler Baker Williams put the red hat on Sean Tucker.
It's the perfect call by Tony Gibson, the defensive coordinator for NC State, sending that Tyler Baker Williams, the nickel, on a blitz towards the running back side.
And by the way, Tony Gibson, who was on staff a year ago, promoted to defensive coordinator in the offseason. And kind of a wholesale change that saw Tim Beck come in as the offensive coordinator for Dave Doran. And both coaches have done excellent work. And that relationship and that communication, Roddy, is going to be critical here in the last 2:21 of this half and probably the second half today.
Yes, it is. And with all the situations that this defense has been put in, you obviously gave up the big play, but the other scores have been special teams, really, and being put in bad situations by the offense.
You throw or run here. They're going to run with Tucker. Yep. Get the clock going. Dave Doran. Is he going to burn another timeout? Yes, he will. So with 2:18 to go, it's a 3-and-out for the Orange offense after the safety.
Timeout, NC State, their second timeout of the half. So 32nd timeout.
Daniel Joseph involved. Tucker got hit. We're going to get Trenton Gill, or we'll get Thayer Thomas to take the punt of Cooney here. This is a quarter, by the way, that had been awfully good to the Wolfpack. 30-some% of their points have been scored in the second quarter. They've got the touchdown pass, Hockman to Thomas. Meanwhile, the Orange has scored a touchdown, kicked 2 field goals, and recorded a safety.
And Bailey Hockman has been a resilient player throughout his career. I mean, just look at the way he started the year and how much better he's been in his second stint as the starter. But the last quarter or so have been rough. I mean, he had the fumble going into the end zone, which may have been in the first quarter. I can't even remember. It was in the first quarter.
It was, yeah.
Starting to forget when things happen.
It was late first quarter.
It was.
Cooney gets it away. There'll be a flag. Here's Thomas on the return off the 19. And Jerry Magallanes.
Looks like it's going to be a running.
Running, not the roughing, right.
Dino Baber's going to go out and chat. I think he wants it tacked on to the end of the return.
That's it. The return, by the way, around the 20.
Running into the kicker, defense, number 31. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is accepted. First down, NC State.
That is not one of those that you can tack on. NC State was coming after this one. Yep, you run into that punt leg, and you're exactly right.
Excellent job by Cooney, by the way. Vi Jones was the NC State player in question.
Just leave that leg out there a little bit longer.
Yeah, heady play.
Heady play.
Heady. All right, so now here's Hockman. Off its 25, NC State finds itself down 8. 2:08 to go. One timeout left for the Wolfpack. Person's the running back for Hockman. Quick throw, and that's Angeline, who's had a big first half, stepping out of bounds near the 34-yard line. So
NC State's got plenty of time on this drive. They want to run the ball, you certainly can. You have to operate with some sense of urgency, but it doesn't have to be a frenetic pace.
1:48 to go, and a snap to Hockman. Cuts it loose again, and that one is dropped, but a flag is thrown on a ball for Devin Carter against Garrett Williams. That matchup has not been nearly as featured as the one between Abezi and Melifonwu.
Defense, number 14. Automatic first down.
I would have bet you a 50-50 split on those before the ball game started. That's the first ball, I think, toward Carter today, Rodney.
Yeah, most of the damage has been done in the slot from NC State between Angeline and Thayer Thomas. But it looked like Williams just got a little handsy when the ball was thrown on that one.
Yep. You see the Orange with their 3 down linemen, and they've crawled Thompson up to an edge. Now trying to sneak Jones up there as well. Here they come. Hockman's got to get rid of it. Steps away, tried to make the throw up the field, and it's incomplete. And now we're going to get a push as Person got shoved to the ground by Marlowe Wax off the ball. Not sure how aggressive the shove was.
I'd say the sales job was aggressive.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. After the play, there's fouls against each team. Personal foul, defense, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 8. That's his first of the game. Penalties will offset, second down.
I like that call.
There you go.
Because yes, Marlowe Wax did commit the infraction, but the sales job was so over the top. And you see both guys going at it a little bit, and clearly the refs can see it. Marlowe Wax at the top of the screen does shove Ricky Person, but the sales job by Ricky Person was over the top. And I don't know if that's what got him the flag, but I do like the call.
Here's Hockman, another quick throw, and that is Angeline, and he's wrestled out of bounds. Canton Arku into the bench of the Wolfpack. And here with about 90 seconds and change to go, Roddy.
Syracuse on defense is flirting with the line a lot. Even that one right there was, you're on the line of getting a late hit penalty, slamming the guy down out of bounds. So I think Dino Babers is just going to have to calm this unit down. They're playing pretty well. They've got a big third down here. Watch the 2 slots. Thayer Thomas to the bottom and Kerry Angeline to the top.
Person in the backfield with Hockman. Here comes the Orange again. Bailey tried to step up, cannot get away from the pressure of Kingsley Jonathan. The Nigerian-born Jonathan, senior from Baltimore, Maryland. In his final trip to the Dome, comes up with his 3rd sack of the year.
The pressure that Tony White has dialed up has been impressive. Going to see on the left side. Well, Canton Arku gets pressure from the right. Jonathan on the left side beats Joe Sculthorpe and is able to get in the backfield. And what a turn of events that we've seen. And NC State was basically moving the ball at will for a while there in the game. And Dave Doran leaves the offense on. He's almost certainly going to take a timeout and punt this thing away.
Yeah, play clock down inside of 4. And there's the timeout. Final one for NC State.
Timeout, NC State, their third and final timeout of the half.
Wolfpack will get the ball to start the second half if they can ride out the final 40-odd seconds here. But miscues, Roddy, have been the story for NC State.
Well, it started here. Bailey Hockman going into the end zone, fumbles it through the end zone, takes a touchdown off the board, and it's going to give Syracuse the ball back. And then the hit on C.J. Riley, interception for Syracuse, able to get down inside the 5. The NC State defense actually performed well there, but Bailey Hockman going to go down for a safety, ends up throwing the ball out of the back of the end zone. That flag was called off, gave the ball back to Syracuse. And this NC State defense has played well, but special teams touchdown, kickoff return for a touchdown for Syracuse. And you saw the miscues there by the offense, really put them in bad spots.
And the kickoff return, first time since 2011. Trevor Pena, 98 yards. And that's how you end up with an 8-point lead here in the final 40 seconds. Johnson off the punt from Gill, going to let it hit, and it'll skip out of bounds around the 10 with 38 seconds to go. All right, let's play the game with Sterling Gilbert and Dino Babers going to the locker room here. You're out of timeouts. Feel pretty good about your first half.
I would guess that Dino Babers just kneels this out and is satisfied to go to the locker room.
Don't want to run it off the road here?
I don't think so. I don't think you risk taking a shot down the field and having it picked. I think you just kneel on this and go in. Or let me rephrase that. I think that's what Dino Babers is going to do. I don't have anything on the line, so I would throw it downfield and see what happens.
Culpepper in the gun. Tight end, 3 receivers. Tucker's going to carry it into a stack and maybe get a yard or 2. Now, one would tell you that that could be the final, and it will be because Dino Babers just took off his headset.
Yeah, and I think the message by Dino Babers to his team when they go in the locker room is, hey, we left a lot on the field in the first half. Defense, keep doing what you're doing, creating havoc. And Dave Doran is going to say to his team, look, guys, we played about as bad a half as we could have, especially offensively, with the exception of the first couple of drives. Just settle down. We're in this game. Believe, and we can go out and win it.
8-point lead for Dino Babers in the orange. 22-14. Stay tuned. State Farm halftime report from our ACC Network studios is next.
Welcome to the State Farm Halftime Report.
Welcome in. Syracuse leading the Wolfpack 22-14. Got Coach Mark Richt with me. Got Eric McLean with me. And this is only the second time that Syracuse has led it to half all season long. The last time they had that lead, late September, when they were leading against Georgia Tech, that ultimately led to their lone win of the season. As to how we got here, let's take a look at the highlights, shall we? Myriad of mistakes for the Wolfpack, that's for certain. So we take a look. Dino Babers in Syracuse heading out to the Carrier Dome. Some juice early on. I talked about the mistakes on the special teams, sure, but it's Trevor Pena sped up. Goes 98 yards for the touchdown. It had been 113 consecutive games without a kickoff return for the Qs. Second longest active streak among ACC teams. Only Clemson without more at 128. Later, Bailey Hockman runs the bootleg. Looks like a touchdown. Another mistake here. Upon review, it appears that Bailey Hockman fumbled that thing out of the end zone, which results in a turnover. Syracuse ball midway through the second. NC State trailing. Bailey Hockman to the end zone finds Thayer Thomas. 15 yards for the score. But the Syracuse team had answers. Rex Culpepper drops back and unloads 60 yards to Nakeem Johnson for the touchdown. Syracuse back on top. Talk about how this was just a wacky game for the Pack and how they just don't look sharp at all. Myriad of those mistakes. Well, I don't know if this is one you will ever see. Bailey Hockman looks like he's going to take the sack, throws it out of his own end zone. It results in a safety. Don't think anybody predicted that this is where we would be at the break. EMAC, you're laughing because there were some crazy things we saw. What did you make of that first half?
Yeah, just a great job by Syracuse creating turnovers and creating extra opportunities for their offense. We talked about it in the early show. On the bright side for Syracuse, look at this. Your team now back leading the country. You came in tied for second. Now you're leading the country again, tied for first with takeaways. That's what you guys do. There's so much youth back there, and those guys are growing up right before our eyes, making huge plays today and getting extra opportunities for their offense.
EMAC, last night I'm on all ACC. They asked me, is there any way that you see NC State losing this game? I said, I tried to think of some kind of way that could happen. So then I found out how wrong I was. Here's how you do it. Give up a 98-yard kickoff return. Fumble the ball that turns into an interception. Reach the ball over the goal line for a touchdown. Fumble a snap. Fumble a reverse. Give up a 60-yard bomb to a wide-open Johnson. Throw it back. Throw the ball out of the back of the end zone just for the heck of it. And then get sacked at the end of the half. That's how you get your butt beat. And guess what? They're only down by 1 touchdown. So what a crazy game. This game's making me nuts. Don't reach the ball over the goal line because you're going to fumble it to the end zone. It's going to be a touchback, and we're going to get our butts beat.
I tell you, nothing makes Coach Rick more angry than not valuing football.
That makes me nuts.
It makes you very upset. I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Makes me crazy.
We can now move on with the halftime report here provided by State Farm. And look at Rex Culpepper dealing, making the most of his opportunity at the quarterback position. Hooks up with Nakeem Johnson. 60 yards for a touchdown. Hughes leads it by 8. More State Farm halftime report.
This halftime report is presented by State Farm and their surprisingly great rates.
At NC State, our history grew from the ground up, so it's filled with dirt and sweat and long hours. It's the story of solving problems, to provide people with the tools that improve our communities. This is our history. It's also the force that drives us into the future. We are NC State. Think and do.
You're watching the State Farm Halftime Report.
An interesting matchup there. All right, here's a look at the 98-yard kickoff return. It's the first one Syracuse has had since they've entered the ACC. Trevor Pena to the house. Hughes leads 22-14. Enjoy the second half. We'll see you after the game.
This halftime report is presented by State Farm and their surprisingly great rates.
We welcome you back to our coverage of ACC football, and for just the second time this year, the Orange find themselves ahead at halftime, 22-14 on NC State. Vibes for Dino Babers' team. The only other time was their win against Georgia Tech. And Roddy, what an eventful first 30 minutes.
Well, the offense has not been overly consistent, but they've been helped in all kinds of ways. You see the long kickoff return for a touchdown by Trevor Pena. And then the defense has been able to create some turnovers. Bailey Hockman fumbles the ball going into the end zone. They've been able to create some long plays. The long pass from Rex Culpepper to Nakeem Johnson. This defense has also forced a safety. Bailey Hockman retreats, eventually throws the ball out of the back of the end zone. They've also created an interception that led to a field goal. This Syracuse defense and special teams have really helped what has been an offensive performance that leaves some to be desired, but they find themselves with a halftime lead.
Yes, they do. You see the numbers, and only a yard of rushing for the Orange and 30 for the Wolfpack. 35 of those, by the way, belong to Ricky Person. And here is Bam Knight with the kick return, trying to atone for an earlier mistake. And Knight out the back door across the 30, keeps his feet 40, and taken out of bounds by LaBrosse into the bench area of the Orange at the 44. And we've got an injured Syracuse player. It looks like Strickland, I believe, or is it? Yep, Strickland, who is the injured players. Kyle Strickland down on the kick cover. Redshirt senior down. We'll take a break at the Dome. Well, Kyle Strickland, a defensive back down on kick cover, was helped from the field a moment ago as we went to timeout. And now the Wolfpack scrimmages from its 44 and trying to get that run game going, and not much there. Maybe a yard. before the Orange closed the door. Marlowe Wax has been around the football a lot today, Roddy.
Certainly has. This Syracuse defense has done a really nice job against the run. This defense was averaging giving up 213 yards rushing per game. NC State only had 30 at halftime.
Yep. Snap to Hockman. Here's Thomas on the perimeter, trying to see if they can create an advantage. He'll get to the 49-yard line in Syracuse territory. It'll be a pickup of 6. And third and about 3 set up here.
It's been the Thayer Thomas, Kerry Angeline show. You see him at the top of your screen, 6 and 5. Watch where they go. Garrett Williams and Ifeatu Melifonwu have done a nice job against the 2 outside receivers, Carter and Emezi.
Yep, sure have. And now Person's going to come all the way wide here to the near side.
And it looks like man-to-man coverage as you see Mikael Jones go outside with him.
Yep. Here comes the pressure again from the Orange. Another quick throw, and that's Thomas for the first down. Hockman at times did not handle that very well in the first half.
No, but he had a quick route, a nice job by Thayer Thomas. So it looks like Stephon Thompson is the player, Syracuse player down now.
Yep. So Thompson is down. And we will step aside again. Well, the college football playoff rankings Tuesday night. You'll get the second edition. You know how the first week went. Alabama 1, Notre Dame 2, the Tigers 3, and Ohio State 4. And you know what? It leads you to question, what are your chances to make it? Best chance to reach the CFP according to the All-State playoff predictor, Roddy Jones, and we've already had some movement.
Yeah, well, this is coming into the weekend, obviously. Oregon's got no shot. USC's got no shot. BYU's got no shot. I'll make it easy on you there. And Northwestern's shot should be higher because Ohio State's only 1 game away being canceled of not being able to play in the Big Ten Championship.
And here is Person digging out for 9 yards on the first down play to the Orange 35. All right, take me through the makes and the misses there, Roddy.
Well, the Oregon, obviously they lost last night.
That's right.
And because of that, USC doesn't have any ranked teams left on the schedule. I mean, if Oregon drops out.
Yep.
So USC is all but eliminated. Plus, they've had games canceled. And you look at Ohio State's cancellation, Big Ten says you got to be within 1 game of the average to get to the championship game.
You're doing pretty good, but you haven't talked about
Cincinnati,
the Bearcats.
Yeah, they got no shot either.
What?
No shot.
Come on.
No.
Stop.
No shot.
Oh, 1st and 10, 31-yard line. Hockman and the Wolfpack trying to take this opening kick of the second half to see if they can draw even with the Orange. Pressure coming. Bailey throws for the end zone. Caught! Thomas, what a catch against Garrett Williams for the score. Once again, the connection of Hockman to Thomas pays a dividend for the Wolfpack.
I thought Garrett Williams played this almost perfectly up until the moment of truth where he had to make a play on the ball. It was just a better throw by Bailey Hockman to Thayer Thomas. A great adjustment by the receiver. But man, what a throw by Bailey Hockman.
NC State keeps the offense on the field. They're going to go for the tie here. And now we get a whistle to stop play and a timeout taken by the Orange.
Before the snap, timeout was called by Syracuse. Their first timeout of the half. Full media timeout.
What a catch by Thomas. Wow.
The concentration, because Garrett Williams plays this well. I mean, he's in phase with Thayer Thomas, turns back.
Correction, this is
just
not
a little bit of
timeout.
separation. Thayer Thomas was able to create. You saw Garrett Williams asking for the push in the back. Didn't see one there. Thomas just did a nice job of falling away from the football, being able to concentrate and make a great catch.
Second TD pass on that combination today. First one was 15 yards. This is 31 yards. And Dino Babers used a timeout here. On the drive, you see, with 6 plays, 56 yards, and 2:15.
The timeout was smart. Ricky Person was going to walk in the end zone with the way that was aligned. You had 2 blockers from 2 defenders and then the ball carrier for NC State. It was going to be a conversion, almost certainly.
Porter Rooks has come in. Here's Hockman. He's going to push the pocket left, wants to throw, and in the contest you had Greenwood and Emezi, and the throw is incomplete. Amon Greenwood doing a nice job shadowing Emeka Emezi, so it stays a 2-point lead for the Orange. Roddy, we saw that last night chasing the 2 early in the Oregon State-Oregon game in that second half. Beavers ended up winning the ball game. Did NC State chase too early here?
No, you got to go for 2 here, in my opinion. Tie the ball game up. Syracuse did a nice job of switching that off. Melifonwu taking the underneath receiver, Greenwood taking Emeka Emezi. But no, you try and tie the ball game up here because you've got more shots at it down the line. Either way you go, you could run into a situation where you're caught making the wrong decision, but I agree with the decision by Dave Doeren.
Yep. Well, about 2.5 gone here. Pena and Pierre to take the kick. And here is Gill to kick it away for the Wolfpack. You see how the Wolfpack tightens up the kick alignment here? And he will aim left side and no return. Boy, that's well done by Gill.
Yeah, it is. You put it in the corner halfway deep in the end zone. There's no way that's going to be returned.
Yeah, and I mean, somebody home may say, "What? He kicked it in the end zone. They get it at the 25." There's no chance they're returning it.
Right, and you see what happened. I mean, we saw Syracuse kick off a second ago. They have kicked every one of them into the end zone. That one did not go into the end zone. Bam Knight had a nice return to set up NC State. So those are small things that you don't really notice until they go wrong.
Right. So now here's Culpepper, who has thrown the deep ball to Johnson for the score. Just above 50% of his passes. Let's see what the Orange gets running the ball here. Culpepper going to throw on first down. Here comes the Red Hats after him. And he will throw it away at Johnson with Peyton Wilson and Daniel Joseph pressuring.
NC State is committing so many numbers to the box. I mean, on that play, you had 8 guys around the line of scrimmage. You see the pressure. I mean, this was kind of one of those pressures created by coverage. Peyton Wilson with a nice little shove.
Peyton Wilson doesn't miss a chance now.
Didn't exactly go up and shake his hand once he got there. And Rex Culpepper's like, come on, man. Help me out here.
Not like he's welcoming him to the Civic Luncheon.
Yeah.
Here's Culpepper trying to get the quick throw. It's a shovel, and look at big Aleem McNeil. Stuff that. There he is. Big man touchdown earlier in the year at Virginia. And that time he just engulfed the play.
There have been so many pass plays in this game from Syracuse because of their lack of ability to run the ball. This has not been an Aleem McNeil game.
No.
But, man, when he has the opportunity, he makes his presence felt in the middle of that NC State defense.
29 is no joke. 6'2", 320. Junior from Raleigh. 35th career game. 18th start today. Here's Culpepper, wants to throw. Harris, a catch at the shoe tops. Cuts back in open field. Taj Harris across the 40 to the 41 and a first down. Another broken play. And somehow one of these schools finds a way to turn something out of it.
Well, they sprint Rex Culpepper out. It's a similar play to the one he found Nakeem Johnson on earlier. But NC State plays the deep ball well. He throws it underneath, and because of the pursuit, the backside's wide open.
To the 42, 1st and 10. Here's Tucker going nowhere. He'll lose at least a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Daniel Joseph the tackle.
Watch the pursuit by the NC State defense. Taj Harris does a nice job of catching the ball and working back to his quarterback, but there's nobody on the backside because all of the routes were happening on the front side. The rollout was there. It's good for NC State that didn't go for more.
And Harris runs well enough, Roddy, if Jakeen Harris doesn't get him.
Maybe striking up the band, the imaginary band. There's no band here.
Yeah, well, you're right. 2nd down, and here's Tucker trying to sweep to the boundary. And the Wolfpack chopping down shy of the 44. Isaiah Moore, Terrell Dawkins on the stop for NC State. There's 0, by the way, the redshirt freshman Dawkins, who Tony Gibson is quick to point out has gotten better every week. Only played in 4 ball games a year ago, right at that redshirt number, and boy, he's really come on strong here for the Pack. Culpepper 3rd and long now. Tried to go to Harris on a crossing route, and he got caught up in a bump with Peyton Wilson, and it will fall incomplete. I think the Orange thought they were going to get a flag out of it and did not.
Well, NC State has decided on that last play, just drop 8, let Syracuse throw it underneath. And as we go forward, first downs are going to be huge for Syracuse on the offensive side of the ball, because they cannot live in these 3rd and longs.
So here's Cooney and Thayer Thomas standing at the 10 to wait on the punt. And Thomas will signal for and make the fair catch right around the 13-yard line. So it's a 2-point game and under 10 to go here in the 3rd. All right, Roddy, cue it up. Time for today's trivia question. Who holds the NC State record for career completion percentage?
I tell you what, so
did you cheat?
To give people a peek behind the curtain, I did listen on our production call last night. Usually, I go ahead and I mute it when we start talking about the trivia.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Usually.
Give yourself
but
the
I did
integrity
listen.
of the game, as
exactly.
it were. Yeah.
I did listen, so I will not be offering a guess this week. But when it was asked, there's some really good choices to pick from.
Yeah. And the first down give, and Knight tries to pick up a couple on the play. It does.
The thought process that I had when we saw this question was, all right, is it Phillip Rivers? Is it Russell Wilson? We're talking Jacoby Brissett?
Bam Knight's shaken up, by the way.
Oh, man.
So Knight is down. They check on the sophomore running back of the Wolfpack back after this. Good news is Bam Knight got off the field and walked off under his own power, Roddy, without any assistance, and goes straight to the 10. So 2nd and 7 for the Wolfpack. Here's a little screen trying to get a Mezzi going, and boy, did the Orange play that well. Again, Marlowe Wax, another young guy, true freshman from Baltimore. A group of young players for Tony White defensively, and are making plays today.
32 Marlowe Wax, 31 Jeff Canton-Arku, 13 Mikel Jones. All of those guys have made plays and really kept this NC State offense off guard. The question is, can they now stop NC State on 3rd and longs, where they had some success in the first half?
Yep, Wolfpack will get right back to it here. Hockman pushes to his left, looks, and then runs out of bounds before he pulled the trigger downfield. Back around the 12-yard line.
The quarterback stepped out of bounds.
So the Wolfpack will fall to 5 of 8 on 3rd down. And here's Gill to punt. Still a 2-point game.
NC State had so much success early on in the first couple of drives, just moving the ball right down the field. With the adjustments by Tony White and his ability to create pressure and make life difficult for Bailey Hockman, it's really kind of been the story since then, and they have not found any rhythm.
And the punt for Gill. Boy, hammers it at Nykeem Johnson. Backs up to the 31. Did he punt it too far? Here's Johnson, 40, 45, midfield, and into Wolfpack territory to the 43 before the tackle is made. The punter got involved in it as well, along with the veteran Trent Penix. And now Plusfield territory for Rex Culpepper. Here's another look.
This was a boom punt, but it is the definition of out-kicking your coverage. Nykeem Johnson with a lot of space. Once again, Syracuse special teams puts him in a position where they've got really good starting field position for the offense.
Sure do, and a 2-point lead. Ahead of 8 minutes to go. Again, that tight end, 3 receiver, 11 personnel, if you will. Culpepper to Quealy on the slant. First down to the 30-yard line.
I said it at the end of the last drive, Wes. First down, so important for Syracuse. NC State committing so many numbers to stopping the run. They're going to have to find success in the pass game, and they did it there.
Yep. And who moved first will be the question here. Savion Jackson? Or was it the left side with Bergeron and Benson, the tight end? I think it's going to be on Jackson.
Offside defense, number 90. Entered the neutral zone, causing the offensive line to react. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yep.
Running in slow motion like that. I mean, you did have Bergeron start to kind of lean back on his heels, but
it should never show it to you in slow motion.
No,
sometimes.
Never. Regardless, though, I mean, I don't know. I have not seen NC State play this sloppy all season. Syracuse looking for the breakthrough.
Yep. Here's Tucker trying to find something on the ground, and Tanner Engel pushed him back after he reached the 23. So third down coming up, and all of a sudden, Roddy, this becomes a very big down. The Orange just 5 of 12 on third down today.
Well, this one's going to be second down. They got the first down.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, they got the first down on the pass to Quealy. But still, you know, Tanner Engel, I've played against these guys before, like Tanner Engel. It's just like every time you look up and you're coming up off the ground, he's standing there. These guys are frustrated.
It's a good way to put it. Here's Tucker now, trying to find the cutback. It's a stiff arm to the edge, and that'll be enough for the first down for the Orange. Shot battle. Tanner Engel over there for NC State, but not before Sean Tucker has one of the better runs of the day for the Orange, who only had a yard of rushing at halftime.
We have to keep going to him. He's the most talented player on the Syracuse offense. Got to make him have an impact on this game. I like the fact they've gone to him.
Here's Culpepper, quick throw, and short of the intended receiver, Taj Harris. Roddy, 2 thoughts here on Sterling Gilbert and what he's done today. We've seen the one deep ball to Johnson, okay? I understand that. Gilbert, though, knowing Rex Culpepper was going to take the wheel today, has tried to do everything possible to make it productive when he does throw it.
Yeah, they've rolled him out some. They've hit those underneath balls. You've seen a lot of crossing routes when NC State goes man-to-man. The issue is they've been put in situations like this where it's 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10.
Here's Culpepper, thought about it, now going to tuck and run, and got hit low by Peyton Wilson and high by Drake Thomas as he cracks the 15-yard line.
I think they were trying to set up either a screen underneath or some sort of shovel pass to Luke Benson, who ended up on the ground. Watch Benson. He's coming across. Yeah, it's supposed to be a shovel pass. Benson falls down, and so Rex Culpepper just takes his spot and goes for it. And it's a more manageable third down situation than they've been in a lot today.
Well, Culpepper tells Benson, you need to stay on your feet.
Right, I don't want to take that hit.
Not that one. Tucker checks out to the right. Here's Culpepper throwing for the end zone and caught for Harris. Taj Harris in the end zone. Culpepper throws for his 2nd score of the day.
A nice throw by Rex Culpepper. Taj Harris, career high 10 receptions for 92 yards in his first touchdown of the game. It was such a nice play. It's a great play design by Sterling Gilbert. An excellent execution on Syracuse offense's part.
The point after by Schmidt, good. It's a 9-point game. Under 6 to go, 3rd quarter, Roddy.
So, Wes, watch this. They're going to motion Sean Tucker out of the backfield, and that's going to tell Rex Culpepper whether it's zone or man. If a linebacker goes out, it's man, but now he knows it's zone. So Taj Harris just going to bend between the safeties behind the linebacker, delivers the ball. for a touchdown. But Sterling Gilbert sending that motion lets his quarterback know early on the answers to the test. All right, I know it's man-to-man. I know I'm going where I'm going with the football. The question is, does anything change post-snap? It doesn't. Delivers the football for a great touchdown play by Syracuse.
Culpepper to Harris, 6 plays, 43 yards, 2:19 the time of the drive. And all of a sudden the Orange with a 9-point lead. And Rex Culpepper making his 4th start of the year. Got to feel a little better about where he is more and more here.
And Syracuse finally gets sort of the breakthrough to take it back to a 2-score game. Remember the missed 2-point conversion that you talked about earlier.
Yep.
Makes this a 9-point game right now.
Yep. And Knight will watch that bounce through, and the Wolfpack will start from its 25. We told you at the top, the Orange defense probably better than the numbers advertised, Roddy.
And they have been today. They've gotten after NC State in the run game, only allowing 46 yards rushing. They've been all over the field. They've played really hard. They've created turnovers as well. Ifeatu Melifonwu with the hit. They created a safety, getting pressure after Bailey Hockman. That's been a big theme of the second half, really late in that first half as well, as they have made life hard for the NC State quarterback.
First safety for Syracuse since Paris Bennett at LSU in 2017.
Paris Bennett, man, what a player he was.
How about Zaire Franklin? Throw him out there too while we're there, right?
Absolutely.
Oof. Here is Person trying to get the Wolfpack ground game going with a stiff arm for a couple of yards. He got Cody Roscoe, the transfer from McNeese State, right around the collar with the right arm. So second down coming up. Now, NC State's played with a lot of poise, Roddy. But they'll need all of that today, trailing 9 with about 20 minutes left in the ball game.
Yeah.
Hockman wants to go deep, now going to fling it. That's Carter who makes the catch. Inside the 35 to the 33 of the Orange goes Devin Carter.
It was a double move by Devin Carter, who did an excellent job of selling the route. Bailey Hockman's actually a little bit late on this throw, but Devin Carter still goes up against Garrett Williams and makes the play.
1st and 10, Hockman ready again, shoots it to the far side. And Carter going to work on the redshirt freshman Williams.
See the stutter go. Garrett Williams tries to grab him, can't do it, and then making the catch through contact. That's excellent.
Here's Hockman now, looking left, under pressure, gets away, takes off, and will get the first down, stepping out of bounds ahead of Koba. Right around the 21-yard line of the Orange. Wolfpack not wasting any time here, Roddy.
Well, sometimes when your offense is in a little bit of a rut, you really got to get it going. Going tempo like this is good. It kind of catches the defense off guard because they haven't shown the speed that much. And there's a well-timed shot play by Tim Beck earlier as well.
39-yard throw to Carter, kind of set him up. They went back to Carter again. And now here's Person with Hockman in the backfield, and Bailey's going to keep it this time. Squeezes inside the 15 and close to another NC State first down. Stephon Thompson helps on the tackle for the Orange. This is Person, and boy, got hit right in the middle of the stack. I don't know if he had enough for the first or not. And they are going to call it a first down. Jerry Magellanes without the benefit of the measurement. Tim Beck now. It's George McDonald with the hat on there next to him, who coaches the wide receivers. Former offensive coordinator here several years ago.
Terry Angelon not in the game for NC State. He's been a really big target for them today.
Yep, standing on the sideline. Here is the first down play, and Person cracks the 10 to the 9. And once again, the Orange with Koba. Tell you what, Roddy, I had, after seeing Lee Koba a lot last year as a freshman, I thought Lee Koba had a chance to step right in. He's been a nice piece of this defense that's still, as we said at the top, very young today. But he's played big today. He and Marlowe Wax, Steve Linton, Jones, Thompson, those guys are all freshmen or sophomores, and those are just the linebackers.
Yeah, the linebacking crew has been really, really good today.
Now Hockman with the play clock down to 7. Gets the snap, looks left, pressure coming, throws, caught, touchdown. Thayer Thomas again. Third time today. Those two hooked up.
This Syracuse defensive backfield did a nice job of switching off this route combination last time. This time, they do not do it. Both players go inside, go underneath, excuse me, to the low receiver. Thayer Thomas wide open for the touchdown.
So a 9-yard score. They go 75 yards in 8 plays. Done for the point. And it's good. 2:22 left to go. 29-27 here in the third. And Bailey Hockman has thrown for 239 on 19 of 22 today.
And you see Dave Dorn, how fired up he is. That's how you do it. That's how you do it is what it looked like he was saying. Thayer Thomas wide open in the corner of the end zone. That was an assertive drive by this NC State offense. We have not seen one of those since really early in the game. They looked crisp. They looked decisive. They looked like they were on the front foot being the aggressor.
Yep. So Thomas, you like his TD to catch ratio today, by the way.
If I'm Thayer Thomas, this is not to toot our horn at all. But the games that we have done, we have seen 6 Thayer Thomas touchdowns between Florida State and
let me just say this. Thayer Thomas ought to want Wes Durham and Roddy Jones a lot.
Right, a lot.
Like every game.
Set an ACC, he set a world record for touchdowns.
Yeah, be king of the football world, period. Gill slipped as he kicked it. And here is Pena again trying to pull the magic. Ooh, got across the 25, and then the white shirt showed up. So that is where the orange will start. With 2:16 to play. All right. We told you earlier about our Aflac trivia question. And that is, who holds the NC State record for completion percentage? Ryan Finley. I thought Phillip Rivers, Russell Wilson, all very good guesses. We didn't get Roman Gabriel in there.
No, we didn't get Mike Glennon in there.
We didn't get Terry Harvey in there. I always like to mention Terry Harvey when I get a chance.
There you go.
Instead, it's Ryan Finley. How about 2018? He threw for 473 yards in this building. Good heavens. My goodness. NC State lost 51-41. Here's Culpepper trying to dial Harris deep and dropped. Now, Battle was there, so was Harris, but Taj Harris had a chance to hold on to that one, and he knows it.
What a throw by Rex Culpepper. Put it right in the bread basket, right where Taj Harris wanted it. But the receiver frustrated because he knows he let one get away, and you don't get shots like that all that often.
Second down to 10, the 27-yard line.
So off the 27. And again, trying to run it with Tucker. Not much there. And now, Roddy, you go deep on first down. You don't get the shot play. Nothing on the ground, little on the ground. Now it's 3rd and 9 for you.
It's the gamble you take. Here's another look at it. Watch the placement. I mean, Taj Harris has that right in his arms. Just goes right through the wickets and hits the dirt. He is not on the field here. A lot of times their best play on 3rd and long has been dumping it to him on a little crossing route and letting him create after the catch.
Akeem Johnson goes to the slot. Normally where you might see Harris. On 3rd down, Culpepper looks, tries to slip it for Alford and threw it behind him. Missed badly, and that'll be 3 and out for the Orange. Shows you just how thin the line is that Sterling Gilbert's trying to ride here.
Yeah, your margin for error is not very big. And it's a good job by Tony Gibson of sending pressure, because Nykeem Johnson on the other side had actually beaten Jakeem Harris down the field, which is what NC State was afraid of. I mean, Nykeem Johnson's got world-class speed. But Culpepper had to make a decision right off the bat, went with what he felt like was the safer throw, but a little miscommunication.
So here is Cooney to punt it. Thomas gonna let it hit. And the Wolfpack get away from it as it takes an NC State bounce back toward the 40. So with 70 seconds to play here in this third period and trailing 2, we give you a quick reminder about the huddle late tonight with Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, and Coach Rick. Complete breakdown of a full day of ACC football comes your way. The huddle late night on ACC Network and streaming live on that ESPN app. So Tim Beck's offense will start from the 41. And Bailey Hockman, who's got Bam Knight with him. And here goes Knight sliding through. And he will pick up at least 5, maybe 6 toward the 47 before he gets knocked back.
How does this Syracuse defense respond? You've still got the lead in the ball game, but this is a big drive. NC State with good field position just went down the field.
Leon Lowry, who's just come in the ball game, has stepped up on the edge now. Keep an eye on Lowry at the bottom of your screen in that defensive line spot wearing number 16. That's him flipping now to the left. 6'4", 225 from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Here's Knight. And Bam Knight crashing into Melifonwu, rolling off another would-be tackler. That was Hannah, who was holding on for dear life against Zonovan Knight. Good hard run from the Wolfpack's number 7, and it looks like Sculthorpe is shaken up for the Wolfpack. And Joe Sculthorpe is down here with 20 seconds to play in the third. On a sensational run by Bam Knight, by the way.
Bam Knight was shaken up a little bit earlier. Good to see him healthy, but Joe Sculthorpe, their most experienced offensive lineman, the 5th-year senior, has played more plays than anybody with the exception of Grant Gibson, the center. See him coming in here at the end of the play. Just gets that right leg rolled up on.
He's now sitting up, and they're tending to the neck and head area, it looks like. '24th career start today for Sculthorpe. And at 6'3" and 307, he's to his feet, which is always a good sign.
He's done a nice job today with Ike Ekwonu on the left side of that NC State offensive line. Syracuse has had some success sending pressure.
Yep.
But for the most part in the run game, that left side's been pretty reliable.
You know, we touched on this a couple of weeks ago, the shifting that's gone on in their offensive line, to think about kind of how they've continued to march on with this season, Roddy, and now find themselves winning 2 straight and 5 of their last 7. It shows great perseverance and toughness for Dave Doran's team for sure. Here's Hockman now after the run by Knight, 1st and 10. From the pocket, another shot. This one for Carter, and he and Williams battle, but it's incomplete. So it'll be 2nd down and 10, and for Bailey Hockman, there have been many misses today.
No, there certainly have not. Garrett Williams played that one well. There was a little bit of hand fighting, but as you said, Bailey Hockman, it's kind of been a Jekyll and Hyde game for Bailey Hockman a little bit.
Yeah.
The interception wasn't his fault, but you also had some mistakes that have cost NC State today.
2nd down to 10. Hockman eludes the pass rush. Now to his right, will sail it over the head of Thomas, incomplete. And that leaves us 2 seconds to play. here in quarter 3, and third in the full 10 for the Wolfpack, who are 5 of 8 today on third down.
And this has been Thayer Thomas, Kerry Angeline down in distance. Those two guys in the slots have been the go-tos for Bailey Hockman in these situations. Thayer Thomas is going to be to the slot to the bottom with Emeka Emezi. You've got Kerry Angeline to the top with Devin Carter.
Yep. This is when Syracuse has also brought more than NC State could block, too.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to do it here and go man-to-man coverage on the back end.
Hockman shoots it, caught. Thomas clutches it, first down. On the final play of the third period, Bailey Hockman picks up NC State's 6th third down in 9 tries. But it's a third period with the quarterbacks. Culpepper and Hockman toss TD passes. 2-point game to go. Well, don't forget, Sunday we got ACC Women's Hoops starting at noon. Western Carolina visits Carroll Lawson and Duke at noon. ACC Women's Hoops presented by Food Line, Roddy.
Nell, yeah.
Give me a Nell, yeah. Georgia Tech at McCabe's Pavilion. And then Neil Ivey and Notre Dame host Miami of Ohio on ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. 1st and 10 for NC State, operating at Syracuse's 28. Bam Knight back to the ground and got turned around by Mikel Jones, who's got another interception today, which is his 4th of the year and his 6th takeaway.
He's a ball magnet. Bam Knight has been running physical since he got banged up a little bit. He's come back into the game, and Jihad Carter had a shot at him in the backfield. The spin move got positive yardage, though.
Yep. 2nd down for Hockman. That's Angeline moving into the slot, and here comes the pressure on Hockman. Going to loop it for the end zone, and just beyond the reach of Knight, who had taken the linebacker Thompson with him. And now 3rd and 8. And this is where NC State's made a lot more money on this play and this down than maybe most would have thought coming in.
Yeah, the only way Syracuse has been able to get pressures is by bringing extra guys and playing man-to-man behind it. But then Thayer Thomas and Kerry Angeline have been too tough to deal with. But when they've gone zone, they've been able to pick them apart. Here, it's another man look. It looks like that's what you're going to get again with Thomas and Angeline to the bottom.
See if the Orange try to get there. Hockman from the pocket, going to tee it up again for the end zone, and caught! Emeka Emezi against Melifonwu, and a straight dime from Bailey Hockman.
What a catch by Emeka Emezi. He's been the best contested catch player in the conference this season. And once again, against the guy in the Melifonwu that is one of the best corners in the conference, Emezi holds his line, stays strong, goes up in the air, and snags another one. Now NC State's going to go for 2 now that they're up by 4 in this one. That's what the chart says, Wes.
26 yards to Emeka Emezi. Indeed it does. Another 3rd down conversion, by the way, Roddy, for NC State.
And they have torn Syracuse up in man-to-man.
That's Thomas in motion. Here's Hockman again, going left, throws, and tried to go to Thomas, and Greenwood was there. Bailey Hockman has thrown 3 second-half touchdown passes. 2 to Thomas, and now 1 to Emeka Emezi. Back after this. Well, Emeka Emezi's got a touchdown catch, 4th throw of the day for Bailey Hockman for a score, and NC State back in front. Roddy, he came into the ball game 6th in career receptions. He needed 6 to catch Jacoby Myers. He's obviously got 4. He came in 9th in receiving yardage with 1,925. There'll be no return here. He now has passed in receiving yardage Jacoby Myers, the great Mike Quick of NC State fame from the late 70s, early 80s. And he's moved into 7th all-time in receiving yardage. Next on the hit parade, talk about good, Naz Worthen.
There you go.
Late 80s at NC State. Naz Worthen was a bad man.
He's a bad man. This dude's a bad man. I mean, The career that Emeka Emezi has put together has been impressive, and his ability to rebound after what was a down year for him a year ago. Switch back to the 86, and he's performing like it.
Sure has. Here's Tucker now, the Orange trying to find a run game. It's a 4-point game. We're a minute into the fourth. But you sense, Roddy, what, in the last, I guess, 4 minutes of clock time, the game momentum has really shifted. Hockman's TD pass to Thomas of 9 yards. And Tucker is down. And that means Dino Babers and Sterling Gilbert will get Cooper Lutz ready to go. And we'll step aside. A minute into quarter 4. Wolfpack leads by 4. Well, Sean Tucker gets to his feet during the timeout. And we've got a 4-point ball game, which 2 years ago, 4 points was about 2 snaps, seemingly. October 2018, Eric Dungy and Ryan Finley put on a show. We already told you earlier, Finley threw for 473. Dungy tossed for 411, which would be a heck of a day. They combined for 6 touchdowns. The Orange won a shootout, 51-41. Here at the Dome. Here's Lutz, a little reverse. This is Johnson coming back to the near side. The Wolfpack's got the angle. And Daniel Joseph with a great play in the open field. That's some kind of play by Big 99.
Well, Rex Culpepper was Nakeem Johnson's only hope of taking care of Daniel Joseph. And let me just say, that wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen. Watch the big fella rally back out, beat the block by Culpepper.
Wow.
How impressive is that? The acceleration at the end of the play. And the pressure is on this Syracuse offense because NC State's been rolling here in the second half.
I'm telling you, Joseph, 6'3", 270, the grad transfer from Penn State, from Toronto. Here's Culpepper going to shoot for Quealy downfield, and Jakeem Harris almost came away with the pick. And the Orange will have to punt.
Jakeem Harris has done a nice job the past couple of weeks playing that center field safety when they go either man or cover 3. That time, a double move beats his corner. Jakeem Harris is able to get there, almost picks it off, but ball overthrown by Rex Culpepper, and the Syracuse defense is going to be thrust right back onto the field.
So Culpepper and Joseph, by the way, had a nice exchange there before both guys went to their respective benches about the play before. Here is Cooney to punt with Thomas waiting. And a fair catch called for at the 31-yard line.
Well, Wes, it's that time of the game again, where I let you know that you can get the latest news and information from the ACC each morning with special guests from the world of sports. Packer and Durham, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on ACCN and the ESPN app. And let me tell you, very popular in the 3 and under demographic. Very popular. The girls love it.
JC and Adria are some of our most loyal viewers.
Yep. And you know what? Sometimes when we hear like Pack on off campus in the afternoon, they go, "That's Mark Packer. Where's Wes Durham?"
That's always the question. He doesn't work in the afternoons. That's Mr. Packer. And maybe Chris Cotter this week, Roddy. Long-awaited debut, a return of Chris Cotter to the program. There's Thomas fighting through some would-be tacklers. Quite a day for Thayer Thomas. 3 touchdown catches, 8 altogether for 98 yards.
And if you're NC State on offense, this is a finish them drive. When you now are in the position where if you're able to take this to a 2-score game, your defense is playing well, that can all but finish this Syracuse team. So you go out, you assert yourself, a methodical drive down the field that ends up in the end zone, and you got to feel pretty good about your chances.
2nd down and a half dozen.
No safety in the middle of the field for Syracuse.
Right. So here's Hockman now, again, trying to escape the pressure, and well, he and Carter. Was it Rooks, Roddy, or Carter who was the intended guy?
It looked like he was just trying to throw that one away. Had Carter, had Rooks on the outside, on the inside, who was running a corner route, had a little bit more time, I think that would have been the guy to go to. But it looked like he was just slinging that one in the vicinity of his receiver and trying to get to 3rd down.
So here's 3rd and 6. Hockman 22 of 29 for 281 today. And the 4 scores. Bailey will bail from the pocket, and he got tripped up from behind. Pretty good play by Roscoe, the McNeese State transfer. Got a hand in there on Hockman. And NC State will go 3 and out.
You know what I like about that sequence for Syracuse on defense? On second down, they say, hey, look, you got man-to-man. We're putting everybody close to the line of scrimmage. If you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us deep. We're going to make you earn it. We're going to be aggressive. They force the issue against NC State, force a third down, and are able to get off the field.
False start offense, number 34. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That'll cost the Wolfpack 5. NC State playing for a 7th win on the season, be their 6th in ACC play. 3rd straight win in 6 of their last 8. And there's a little dirt in the details on that. Here is the punt by Gill, and it's a good one. Johnson backed all the way up inside the 15. Trying to make something happen, hits the cutback, and he will get to the 30. Hakeem Johnson measured to the 31, and that's where the Orange will start. There is a flag down on the play. And let's see what Jerry Magallanes has.
During the kick, holding receiving team, number 99. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down, Syracuse.
Well, Roddy, you lay all that stuff out, and Dave Doran took over in 13, struggled against the conference, kind of flatlined at 3. Then at 15, you know, you're building, right? 16, they start going up, don't they?
Sure do. 17, they peaked, and then obviously last year was disappointing, but back up in 20. Now, they're going to end up with more wins than they have likely in any of those years just because of the number of games that you played. But to go from 1 win in the ACC a year ago, in a year that you're playing 10 conference games, to be sitting here with an opportunity to finish with 7 wins in the ACC,
right?
I mean, that's an incredible coaching job by Dave Doran.
Well, and host Georgia Tech next Saturday in Raleigh. And you have to respect that he has been able, and I know it wasn't easy, and in fact, Dino Babers kind of talked about this a little bit this week. You have to be willing to find things that build your core in tough years. Yeah. No doubt it's been a tough year at Syracuse, but you got to find things, and we talked about this defense at the top with the young guys they're playing, starting a program record 6 freshmen today on the defensive side with Syracuse. Dave Doran went through kind of the year Dino Babers has had this year, last year. There's a long throw way over the top and incomplete. Intended downfield for Courtney Jackson. Taj Harris, by the way, shaken up in the middle of the field for the Orange.
Yeah, you mentioned that Dave Doran kind of went through what Dino Babers is going through. The thing that Dave Doran said is after a year like that, a year where you suffer, you've got to come together. And he talked a lot about chemistry. He's talked about it throughout this week. Just the chemistry that this team was able to build. And I thought he was incredibly insightful with what they did to lay the foundation so that once quarantine hit, they really came together through that.
Yeah. Here's a shovel pass inside. And hit is Cooper Lutz, I believe. Oh, no, that was Aaron Hackett. I beg your pardon, the tight end who took the shovel pass. And now 3rd and long. The quarantine workouts were the one thing that fascinated me that he talked about this week for NC State.
Yeah, the coaches were not allowed to check up on players on their workouts, but he said that the leaders on this team formulated a system where they could hold each other accountable and what their workouts were and sending each other what they did. And it's incredibly impressive, and it's shown up on the field.
Yep. So here's Culpepper now. 3rd down and 8, and middle of the field incomplete. Pressure was coming. NC State had Tyler Baker-Williams screaming through the box from his nickel.
Well, you can look at this 2 ways. For Syracuse, every single position or every single phase of the game has given this offense a chance, has given this team a chance to win the game, and the offense just hasn't been able to get it going. And on the opposite side, NC State on defense, through the struggles on special teams, through the struggles on the other side of the football, on the offensive side of the ball, when the offense has given the ball back, the defense has kept them in it and allowed the offense just time and time again to chip away.
3 straight 3-and-outs for Syracuse and minus 1 yard of offense in those 3 drives. Thomas going to have to let that hit. It checks up near midfield and will take a Cuse bounce toward the 42. 10 minutes to go at the Dome. NC State with a 4-point lead and the football when we come back on ACC Network.
During the kick, holding number 28.
All right, Thayer Thomas with 3 touchdown catches through 3 quarters today, Roddy. 4th NC State player in the last 15 years to record 3 touchdowns in a single game. I'll give you the chance to guess 1 or 2 here. You played against 1, by the way. I know you did. Here is Person on first down off the 32.
I was going to guess Kelvin Harmon would be in there.
Kelvin Harmon is not one.
Okay, he said I played against 1.
All right, let's go 4 years ago. Jalen Samuels.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I should have known because every time they got close to the goal line, it was going to J. Sam.
All right. 2012, Tobias Palmer.
Okay.
That's probably one that even NC State fans might not think of right away.
That one. Nope.
2009 against Florida State, Jarvis Williams.
Wow. Would not have gotten either one of the second 2. Not if you gave me 100 guesses.
By the way, the Wolfpack record for most touchdown catches in a single game also occurred against Florida State, 1997. There's Person hit by Carter, by the way. The record is 5 in a single game.
And Thayer Thomas, I don't know if he'll get there, but he has been really good for NC State. And Tim Beck kind of hinted to us the last 2 times we've had him, like, hey, watch the slots this week because I think they're going to have some success. He said it to us before the Florida State game. He said it to us before this game, and it certainly has come true.
By the way, the record 5, 1997 against Florida State, Torrey Holt.
Of course it was. Big game Torrey Holt.
Let me tell you something,
man. Big game Torrey Holt.
He would ruin your night. Here's Hockman looking for Devin Carter on the catch at the 31 of Syracuse. And that's against Garrett Williams for Devin Carter. And another big catch on a throw from Bailey Hockman.
The combination of Thayer Thomas, Emeka Emezi, and this guy, Devin Carter, is one of the most underrated in the entire conference because they are so big on the outside with Emezi and Carter that it makes it really tough to defend. Carter there did a really nice job of creating separation, falling away from Garrett Williams, catching that pass. They are impressive to watch.
Bailey Hockman on a 300-yard day now. 313 yards on 23 of 30, and Ricky Person on first down.
Syracuse is still not out of this game. I mean, with the struggles offensively, it feels like a 2-score lead would be insurmountable. But when you look at the score, if you're able to hold NC State to a field goal here, it's a 7-point game, and we've already seen how fast lightning can strike for the Syracuse offense.
Second in the full 10. Person stays in the game. There's Hockman. This is a keep. Quarterback sweep to the left side, and Melifonwu going to shove him out of bounds, and a flag got thrown in too. Bailey Hockman working on a career day.
Face mask defense, number 13. Half the distance to the goal, penalty, automatic first down.
And the penalty's on Mikel Jones. First 300-yard day for Hockman in his career. 313. He had 265 earlier this year against Florida State. The 4 touchdowns also a career high, by the way.
Check out Ike Ekwonu, too. We talked about him in the open. He's falling down and still shoving players down the field. How about that?
Oh, and Amon Greenwood's like, get 79 out of my business.
Right.
What was it?
The number of times that you see him finishing blocks on film is impressive. He is the best finisher on the offensive line in the conference.
Here's Person. Slashes through the left side. And knocked out of bounds inside the 10. And there goes Ekwonu knocking Jones to the turf. We might have to get our director, Tim Sutton, just to lock in an ISO cam on Ekwonu here. Here we go, Roddy. Comes 79.
Watch him on that left side.
There he is. Watch.
Work up. He's going to go find it.
Hang on. There it is right there. Did you see the guy fall in late?
The echo of the whistle is what Ike Ekwonu plays to. We talked about him in the open, but you see the publicity the guys like Christian Darrisaw are getting for being such a great run blocker. Ekwonu is like that.
Person, no match that time. They ran left again, and the Orange just had more fellows over there.
This Syracuse defense still competing again. When I said earlier, still stands. It would certainly be a win. But now that NC State's starting to feel good about the jump balls, it opens it up. So Syracuse is almost certainly going to go man. You're going to want to find 5. Find Thayer Thomas. He's going to be to the bottom in that trips formation. 6, Carrie Angeline to the top. But because of the success they've had in the jump ball, now if you get man-to-man, you may see Bailey Hockman go to the outsides as well.
See how many of the Orange bring. Hockman pushes the pocket, going to flip it for Thomas, and beyond his reach. Incomplete. They had LaBrosse over there. Kingsley Jonathan was the closest guy to Bailey Hockman. So now Dunn with 5:24 to play. He is going to be asked to try and cover the rest of this for the Wolfpack. And Roddy, to your point, push it to a 7-point advantage. 31 yards for Christopher Dunn. Kick is away, and it is good. That is 5 in a row for Dunn. And a new score at the Dome. 5:20 to play. Wolfpack by 7. Well, you make a trip here to Central New York and you get on campus here at Syracuse. Right outside the Dome is a statue of Ernie Davis. Again, another great legendary 44 in Orange history, and Ernie Davis Legends Field, where we bring you the Orange and the Pack today. No return. By the way, Syracuse returned the kick 98 yards. Pena did to tie this ball game at 7. And the Orange had a long time, 100 and some odd games. 2011 had been their last kick return for a score. The ACC's longest streak without a kick return for a score is 128 by the Clemson Tigers.
You gave me about 2.5 quarters to think about that, and Clemson would have probably been my second to last guess. Florida State would have been the last guess, but wow.
Syracuse went 113, by the way. Here is Culpepper, a little QB power right into the arms of Peyton Wilson. You know who's behind Clemson now, Roddy?
I do not.
Virginia Tech.
Wow. Since the David Wilson era.
And you know too well.
I know for a fact that David Wilson had him. I saw that in person, up close.
You were on the return, on the cover unit, were you
I was not.
You sure?
No.
You sure? We can go get the tape.
I was sitting on the sideline.
We can go get the tape.
I was sitting on the sideline when less than 4 minutes left, David Wilson returned one for a touchdown and Enter Sandman played, and I couldn't hear myself think.
There's Benson, and he's going to be tackled by Isaiah Moore after a gain of maybe 2. It has been a hard fourth quarter and second half for the Orange on offense.
Before this drive, -2 yards. Only 6 plays run, -2 yards for Syracuse on offense. And this is obviously a huge drive, because if NC State gets the ball back, I'm not sure they give it back.
Right.
So in this situation, you got to think it's 4-down territory.
Only a yard in the fourth quarter as Culpepper wants to throw. Another shot, that's Harris, and it is caught, but out of bounds. And so now on 4th down, I don't think the 5th-year head coach of the Orange, well, he is going to punt here.
Let's take a look at this one. I don't know, that right foot. Let's check this right foot as it comes down. Up against Aiden White. Watch the right foot. Does it come down first? It looks like it does, Wes. This is going to be reviewed, and this is going to be overturned. That is a catch inbounds. What a huge play by Taj Harris.
There comes the whistle, Roddy. You're right.
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
It was so bang on the initial replay that it's hard to know, but it comes down to a matter of milliseconds. He's got the ball secured, and clearly the right foot hits the ground inbounds before that left foot touches out.
Right.
Ball is secured, so there's no doubt on the catch. Turns into a really nice play for Syracuse. Good coverage by Aiden White, but a better play on the other side. What a throw from Rex Culpepper.
Taj Harris adds to his tally too, Roddy. I mean, now it started off as a simple little day, right?
Yep, and that's the look. The ball is secured. You look up top and see if the ball is secured. It clearly is. Left foot still off the ground out of bounds. Right foot inbounds. It's a nice job by our team in the truck. How about that?
Yep, really nice.
In the freeze frame, got a little reverse, a little slow-mo going forward. Nice job, guys.
Taj Harris came in here, and Sterling Gilbert very complimentary, saying the thing you like about Harris is his chance to be dynamic. And you know, there have been some highs and lows for him, but he is a guy, as a junior, you know you can build with.
And as Syracuse goes forward on this drive, and that's kind of been their best offense, they're going to have to find a way to get Taj Harris and Nykeem Johnson involved. It's been tough for them to sustain them.
They're going to get this ball in
After
state territory.
Review, the receiver possessed the ball and got 1 foot down at the 46-yard line. It will be first down Syracuse.
So there you have it.
Nice job by the replay officials here. Buzzing down, getting the call right, and making it interesting for Syracuse as they're in NC State territory.
Harris has got a career high. 11 receptions today. First down for Culpepper. Back across the middle, and that's Courtney Jackson. Redshirt freshman from outside Pittsburgh. Hauls it in for about 8 or 9 on first down. 3 timeouts for NC State, 2 for the Orange. Here comes Lutz for Tucker. State with a 3-man rush. Culpepper with time, now being pushed. And he will step out of bounds back around the 41-yard line.
And Wes, you can't do that right there. You can't run out of bounds. Throw the ball away at the last minute, and you've got a 2nd and short. Now you've made it, a 3rd and short. Now you made it 3rd and medium here just by running out of bounds, trying to keep the play alive.
Yep.
You just got to toss it out of bounds, and it's sort of one of those things that happens as you play more and more. But NC State's going to play zone. They're not going to get beat deep here. They're going to make Rex Culpepper dink and dunk it down the field to be able to move the ball.
Culpepper flips it to Harris into traffic and going to be close on 3rd down. I think they're calling for 4th, and we may see a measurement here, but being charted as a 4th down play.
Syracuse has had 0 success running the football really for most of the day.
Right.
So do you go with the pass here? I mean, I'm always a fan of the quarterback sneak, but NC State's going to have a guy on the center, and Rex Culpepper's in the shotgun.
Cooper Lutz in the backfield. They've run for 16 yards today as Syracuse.
Yeah. So you don't feel confident turning around and handing it to your running back.
And now a timeout. Dino Babers will use one of his 2 remaining.
Timeout.
They are 4 for 15 on
half.
4th down this year is the Orange, Roddy.
And you'd love in this situation to just be able to quarterback sneak it. If you trust, and here's the thing though, most of these teams are in shotgun so much. Do you trust the snap, the center quarterback exchange? And do you trust your offensive line to be able to get any sort of push?
I'll take you back last week. Central Florida, Cincinnati ended almost on a box snap.
Yeah. Yep.
We saw Oregon State, Oregon last night with center quarterback exchange issues, right?
Yep.
On
Absolutely.
goal line, on goal to goes.
I mean, in the Notre Dame game on the other day, yesterday, we saw in the shotgun some center quarterback exchange issues. So, I mean, NC State's going to play tight man coverage on the outside.
You're going to throw this?
I don't think you can. I think you have to run this. I think you have to quarterback sneak it. And if you can't get that amount, then you just chalk it up. But putting the ball in the air is just as dangerous, if not more.
Cooper Lutz not carried the ball today, by the way, and on the year has 35 carries in 8 games. And he's going to be your running back. You don't need much, but you got to get it or the ball game might be over. In fact, it will be over with 1:57 to go. Play clock winding down. Culpepper will sneak and get it. The threat of Nykeem Johnson, by the way, who sprinted from the slot with Tyler Baker-Williams going with him.
And now Nykeem Johnson is waving Courtney Jackson onto the field, so one of the more dynamic playmakers off the field for Syracuse, and he may not be able to get back on if they're completing passes and kind of just dinking and dunking down the field.
So you got Quealy and Jackson here to the near side, Harris to the far side, who's got a 12-catch day. Here's the throw, and that's Jackson at the 31. Courtney Jackson to move inside the 20 toward the 19. Sit tight. 101 seconds left to go, Roddy.
This thing isn't over yet. It's been such a weird game. Of course, it comes down to the Syracuse offense converting over and over and over.
Right.
And because Nykeem Johnson was off the field and they got him back on and Courtney Jackson off, NC State's able to have a line change on that defensive line.
And as Dave Dorn punched this timeout.
They had a player down for NC State.
Timeout for defensive injury.
Oh, okay. And it looks like Tyler Baker-Williams is the injured Wolfpack player, or at least not quite 100% for sure. So Baker-Williams will be escorted to the Wolfpack bench area.
And NC State has really played a lot of soft zone and let Syracuse throw it underneath, with the exception of that Courtney Jackson play just a second ago. But as we get closer to the goal line, the question for Syracuse is going to be, can you protect long enough for Rex Culpepper to make a decision? And then can you find the matchup that benefits you the most? I would imagine at some point we're going to see a jump ball to Taj Harris, or something to Nykeem Johnson underneath where he's able to make a play. But they do like to get the tight end involved down here at some point. So can you find an opportunity for Luke Benson? We haven't seen a lot of Aaron Hackett today. He's a little banged up. Can you find an opportunity for Luke Benson to get involved?
Don't forget Anthony Quealy, who's here to the near side. And looking that way, this is Benson, and it's dropped. Minute to go.
The threat of the pressure of NC State has really forced Syracuse into short, quick throws, quick decisions by Rex Culpepper. Tony Gibson's done a nice job of mixing up his pressures and his opportunities to drop guys in coverage.
Culpepper buying time, now being flushed to his right. And almost threw it to Isaiah Moore. Almost. Because C.J. Clark was bearing down, and Isaiah Moore almost closed the show.
Well, in practice this week, they're going to practice rolling out to your right and throwing the ball away. There's no reason to throw this ball anywhere near inbounds. Throw it out of bounds in the air where the ghosts in the stands are going to catch it. That's the only people that should have a play on that football.
You'd have that on the practice report. Monday, would that be Monday's practice?
Just, look, I am obviously not a coach of this football team,
sure,
but you have to be pulling your hair out. The inability to just throw the ball away.
3rd down and 10 and a timeout, the last one for the Orange with 52 seconds left. Well, and you see the huddle, and Tommy DeVito and Jacobian Morgan, 2 guys that have started ball games on the outside of the huddle wearing jerseys, masked up, doing what they can to at least be there's DeVito and there's Morgan. Morgan injured late in Louisville. DeVito hurt about a month ago, Roddy. And Jacobian thought he might dress, did not. Don't know if he'll appear next week at South Bend in the finale against Notre Dame. And then DeVito, of course, a guy who was as gutty as it got, Roddy, when he could go.
Tough player. Obviously came in much ballyhooed as a recruit.
There's 11, Dylan Markowitz, by the way, who's not attempted a pass this year. Appeared in 2 ball games early in the season in Pittsburgh and a week ago Friday at Louisville.
West Taj Harris is lined up in the slot to the bottom of your screen. Number 3 is down at the bottom with Anthony Quealy. Imagine he would look that way.
Orange out of timeouts, Culpepper. There's Harris on the cross, and Taj Harris will be banged out of bounds at the 9. It is 1st and goal with 45 seconds left and no timeouts left for the Orange.
You take the timeout, and look, from an operation standpoint, you're going to have to be quick because you have no timeouts. Rex Culpepper cannot take a sack. If you get in a position where you're getting pressure, throw the ball out of the back of the end zone, giving nobody a chance to get their hands on it.
Lutz has returned to the ball game. High snap, they'll hand to Cooper Lutz into the stack. He got a yard, maybe 2.
Now you got to hurry up. You got to have 3 more shots. You got to have to make sure you have 3 more shots at the end zone. So you got to hurry up here.
Half minute to go. And NC State takes the timeout.
Timeout. North Carolina State, their first timeout of the
Syracuse
half.
did not make a move on personnel. And Dave Doran, who had 3, took number 1 right there with 30 seconds left.
Well, look, Dave Doran has to make sure that his team is right first and foremost.
Right.
But in that situation, Syracuse was confused at the line of scrimmage. They were not going to get the snap off for another 5-6 seconds. So you're talking about being down to 24 seconds or so before they snap the ball because of the run play on 1st down. And ultimately, Dave Doran has to make sure that his group is on the right page because the clock doesn't matter if you give up a touchdown on a blown coverage or a blown assignment. But you sure would have liked to have seen, if you're an NC State fan, seen Syracuse get their act together before you called it.
30 seconds left in the ball game. In what's been a wild contest. Culpepper to his right, looks, turns and steps out of bounds, and again Aleem McNeil almost got to him. He'll stop the clock with 24 seconds left. 3rd down coming up.
It looks like NC State's going to be content to drop 7 or 8 guys into the end zone and just muddy the water for Rex Culpepper, making it tough for him to find any space. This formation looks like they're going to rush 3 and drop 8.
Here's Culpepper looking left. Now backs up. Here's McNeil chasing him around. Culpepper with 15 seconds left takes the sack. Peyton Wilson.
You got to go. Taj Harris is hanging out in the end zone. You got to get back to the line.
Orange will have to hurry quickly.
Can't spike it. You got to
go.
go.
4th down. They get it snapped and he spikes it. And the ball game will end. It was 4th down. Jerry Magallanes will go to the headset here, but NC State I believe has won this ball game, Roddy. Here's a look.
Well, without a doubt. I mean, it's 4th down. Syracuse does a nice job of lining up. You can't take a sack in that situation, but you snap the ball, and game's over.
Game's over. 4th down play.
That's about it's about as poor as you can be in situational football.
Yep. The Wolfpack will wait on the official confirmation. But the one thing you couldn't do, you did.
You can't take a sack, especially after that long. Eventually you cut bait and throw the ball away so that you can live to fight another down. 15 seconds is enough time.
After further review, that was 4th down when the ball was spiked. There was 1 second on the clock. 1st down, NC State.
So NC
with 1
State
second on the game clock.
Will have to take a knee to wrap it up.
But in that situation, you fought, you scratched, and you clawed to keep the play alive. Eventually, you have to say, this play is dead.
Right.
Let me go back, and here's a review. They snapped the ball, I guess, with 1 second left,
right.
and the clock.
But it was
really
4th down.
It was 4th down. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But in that situation, even though it's 4th down, first off, you have to know that it's 4th down. And then, obviously, the situation to take the sack. It's just a disappointing way for this game to end for Syracuse.
Yep. And Hockman takes the knee. A career day for Bailey Hockman. NC State had to go to the poise, Roddy. Had to show that toughness that Dave Dorn's talked about with this team.
Yeah, this was one of those wins that's going to be about as ugly as possible on film. But NC State really in multiple phases were able to make plays to get to the end. The defense hung on long enough and gave themselves a chance. The offense picked it up when they needed to in the second half to score enough to win the game.
Career day for Bailey Hockman, 300 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 3 of them to Thayer Thomas. The Wolfpack goes to 7-3. They've won 3 straight and 6 of their last 8. For Roddy Jones, our producer Russ Whittam, our director Tim Sutton, West Durham. Sit tight. Off to our ACC Network studios and the huddle next.
What a stunning finish in the Carrier Dome. Let me see those faces. I mean, just really stunned by what we've just seen as NC State holds on 36-29 to beat Syracuse. You guys sit back.
Please
I'm going to show
me.
you one of the crazier highlights and a finish, quite frankly, I don't know if I've ever seen. Dino Babers and Syracuse, 1-win team in their home finale, looking for some magic early on. They got it. Speed up the tape. Trevor Pena, 98 yards for the touchdown. The first kickoff return for a touchdown since Syracuse joined the conference. That's right. Closing minutes of the first half, Syracuse down 1. Rex Culpepper making the most of the opportunity at quarterback, hits a streaking Nakeem Johnson, 60 yards for the touchdown. Q's lead. Think it upset, 2014 at this point. Beginning of the third, Syracuse up by 8. Bailey Hockman throws along the sidelines, finds Thayer Thomas. He had 3 receiving touchdowns for Syracuse on the day. The 4th NC State player in the last 15 seasons to record 3 touchdowns in a single game. Culpepper here finds Taj Harris as a response. 31-yard touchdown. Q's up 29-20. Closing seconds of the third, Bailey Hockman again. Thomas back of the end zone. That connection was all night like a set of porch lights, except it was an afternoon game. I got to work on that one. Hockman here lobs it up in the end zone. Emeka Emezi, he makes plays, 30 consecutive games with the reception. So good, we take another look. The Wolfpack making things happen late, and that leads us to the conclusion of this one. 24 seconds left. EJ, take me through a forgettable sequence for the Orange and Rex Culpepper.
Jordan, all you had to do was throw the football away. I'm doing my best to stay calm here because this is just unacceptable, man. You just throw the ball away. You got an opportunity to score a touchdown on 4th down. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, Jordan.
Don't understand?
I don't understand it.
You're really not going to understand this, EJ. Clocking the football when you're out of downs. Trying to stop the clock because you're out of timeouts. Rex Culpepper clocks it. He's out of downs. That results in the Wolfpack win. Coach Doran with West Durham and Roddy Jones on a stunning conclusion.
Well, Coach Doran, they sell these things in all shapes and sizes. It's your goal just to see if you can take one home at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to find a way to win, and my hat's off to Syracuse. Senior day here, and those kids played really hard. We tried to help them, turning the football over and gave them some plays, but our kids battled and found a way to win. I was really proud of the way that we caught the football in the second half and threw it, and the O-line started protecting defensively. We battled and did a lot of things well, but a lot of room to improve. Thanks to God for what happened today, and we got a chance to come home next week and do something that's never been done in NC State history and win our 7th conference game in a year. So excited about where we're at.
Well, one of those guys that battled was Bailey Hockman. Struggled at times in the first half with the turnovers. But what about his performance in the second half impressed you the most?
Yeah, Bailey's gutsy, and he gives his receivers a chance to make plays. And I think he was pressured a lot early, and he settled in, made some great throws, had a couple scrambles that helped us, but he did a nice job just settling down.
Coach, hard, tough, together seems to be the mantra of this program this year, and you needed all that today.
That's our identity, We talk about don't walk in the front door if you don't possess those 3 characteristics. We don't want soft people in our program, and we want guys that know how to finish, that are going to play this game with character and discipline. And I love this football team. I love the way these guys play, and they just keep finding a way to win in these one-possession games.
You talked to us this week about chemistry and togetherness and the struggles of last season. How did you see that come out of your team today?
Yeah, they just kept, we went in at halftime. I got after them a little bit, lost my cool probably, and challenged them, and then they got into each other and started picking each other up and came out and played. We talked about playing a 3-phase football game, and we did not do that, but we finished, and we found a way to win. So, I'll take the W, that's for sure.
Congratulations. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Go Pack.
All right.
Finished and found a way indeed. For the Pack, they pick up their 6th conference win this season. That matches its program record for most conference win in the season. They've done 6 previous times, most recently in 2017. To refresh memories, the Pack won 1 conference game all of last season. Coach Mark Richt, I know a lot of things fire you up. Not taking care of the football fires you up. I have not seen a circumstance or sequence like this finish to present this to you to see if it frustrates you. But what was your takeaway from the conclusion of this football game?
Well, the bottom line was NC State tried their very best to lose the game. And then, for whatever reason, Syracuse decided to help them out, play man coverage every down on a Mezzi, and their receivers let the quarterback have a first progression read and just launch a bunch of bombs out there, and they caught enough of them to take the lead. And then at the end of the game, as we're seeing here, I have no earthly idea what Culpepper's thinking. Obviously, you throw the ball away, you get the ball back at the line of scrimmage, and the clock stops, and you could take some time just to think about what you're going to do to take your one last shot in the end zone. It was an embarrassing finish to the game. I know no one's happy with that at Syracuse, and it's tough on those kids because things happen fast, but we just got to be better prepared than that.
Yeah, Coach, it's an unfortunate ending there. You see how it finished. Really 2 of the most bizarre plays we've ever seen back-to-back, especially myself there, to not just throw the ball away and then not knowing that it's 4th down. Like you just said, Coach, a lot of stuff going on, quickly happening, but you just have to understand the moment in the game. But big kudos to NC State. It seems like every week I'm sitting here telling you guys they find a way to win. It's been so different each and every game, it seems like, whether it's on defense, special teams, or offense week to week. But, man, those guys look like a totally different team after halftime. Coach said he got into them, and they responded really well and finished and won a football game.
Yeah, you guys are both right. I think I'm still so upset at what Culpepper did late in that game. It's just, to me, that's just unacceptable. And, I really just feel like the coaches have to now look at themselves. Like, how does he not understand what to do in that situation? It's 3rd and goal. You're about to score, possibly to tie the game up. You have an opportunity to do it on, the 6-yard line. Chuck the ball into the 3rd deck of the Carrier Dome. I just don't get that. I don't understand why you do that and try to run around and then you get tackled and a sack for a 15-yard loss. And then to compound, you try to spike the ball to stop the clock, not knowing it's 4th down. Just the awareness of that young man. feel for him because I'm sure that he wasn't doing it intentionally, but I just feel like that's something that you have to coach during the week. And so I know that they'll definitely clean it up, but I mean, that's unacceptable. But nonetheless, NC State did find a way to win. Bailey Hockman, obviously made enough plays late in this game to get himself back into the good graces. He was kind of doing the same thing. So, on both sides, I think, both quarterbacks just have to figure it out and learn from their mistakes that they made today.
EJ and Eric, you said this Pack team found a way to win. I think they found a territory where wins reside that nobody has ever found one before, because that was really interesting conclusion to that game. But hats off to this Pack team that continues to improve upon a forgettable season last year. And Coach Dave Dorn, I truly believe, should be in the conversation for Coach of the Year in the ACC. We're going to take a quick break.